by building an online presence that people can find and enjoy. Jaris Tucker, business marketing, branding, and advertising expert, branding Rebirth to reposition and rejuvenate. Merissa Hamilton, easyaz.org, making civic action easy. Take action items to fix Arizona's issues caused by our elected or elite. You know, those rhinos, those trans Republicans. Christian Elliot, Health Transformation Program, everything you need to get healthy and become more confident. This Fitz Koehler, common sense, fitness, and wellness education, inspiring people to thrive and survive. And Sitting Shotgun and Michelle's Patriotic Soapbox are two special guests at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Annie Cyrus, she's a former child bride from Iran, human rights activist and Islam expert and proud U.S. citizen. At a girl, she came here legally. She has devoted her life to defending, rescuing, and shining a light on the plight of women and girls suffering oppression. Annie's not holding anything back about Sharia, Afghan refugee invasion, and political agendas. And at 1:30 p.m., Sherry and Tony McKnight, they're the founders of Big Daddy Unlimited, an online gun retailer with a membership-based platform and an America First, member first mantra. Probably why they're so successful. The number one destination for your Second Amendment needs. With guns, we are citizen. Without, we are subjects. Oh, how true is that? More now than ever. So be sure to stick around for the second hour of the show. Facts, truth, take action, items, resources, and, of course, some entertainment. Visit everythinghomeaboutus.com. That's everythinghomeaboutus.com for more information on today's guests, their websites, their own shows, and everything you need to grow your business, enhance the quality of your life, and make a difference, especially in your communities. One location for all the information, the ultimate resource platform. Breaking news. Number one, the theme for the Sunday shows was all about COVID and more non-vaccines. So sick and tired of this, peeps. The head of the CDC said the virus tends to find places that are unvaccinated. Oh, it is so smart and sneaky, that virus. It can get you when you're walking through a restaurant, so you better wear that mask. But when you sit down, you're safe. Whew, take that mask off. That was a close one. Oh, and you know what she said? Don't do screaming outside for Halloween. Yeah, I had to rewind it because I could not believe she actually said that. So no screaming outside for Halloween. And number two, speaking of kids, they're coming for yours. They're going to approve the non-vax for ages 5 to 11. And anyone who allows their child to get this is guilty of extreme child abuse. It's time to join together, take action, and really fight back against this and the fake illegal mandates. Humanity in this country are literally on the line. If you don't think that's the case, oh, you need to listen to a couple of these episodes. You need to start paying attention, peeps. Go to SaveMyFreedom.us. That's SaveMyFreedom.us and join our free freedom movement. It's October 25th, day 589. That's 589. Up 15 days to slow the spread for a political propaganda pandemic that never was a pandemic. Unbelievable, people.
Snap out of it.
By the way, it's day 276 of the Joe Biden Nazi regime, which is the most successful administration in the history of America at accomplishing their agenda of destroying our country. And Biden, you know, he's the largest trafficker of human and sex slaves on the planet. I have to say it every episode because it needs to penetrate. It needs to get in your heads, peeps. Probably one of the most brilliant things that the American people have jumped on the train with. Let's go, Brandon. Now it's time to meet the partners of Everything Home Socially Conscious Referral Network. Today's topics on episode 265, online growth, branding Rebirth, Arizona issues. So many here. You know, he had an audit. You wouldn't even know, like, what's going on with that. Personal improvement, your health, human rights, guns, and the Second Amendment are good, with special guests Annie Cyrus and Sherry and Tony McKnight. Let's get the show on the road, please.
Let's get ready to rumble!
First up is Mr. Harrison Barron. He's the founder of Growth Generators. They're helping you grow to the next level by building an online presence that people can find and enjoy. Talk about that. Tough to find us out there. There's so much noise. Audience, big round of applause. Harrison, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Believe it or not, I'm totally tired and exhausted. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. Do I sound like I'm tired and exhausted today, Harrison?
No, you sound like you're amped up and ready to celebrate freedom.
Well, I think that just runs through my veins. So I'm just trying to hopefully that's contagious. You know, like courage is contagious. Hopefully this energy flows out to everybody that's listening and they decide to stand up for their freedom too. Speaking of freedom, you are trying to create freedom for people because you're trying to help them get found online and building their online presence. A lot of noise out there, Harrison, right? Isn't there a lot of noise out there? How do we get found?
A lot of noise. Good and bad noise, but there's a lot of noise.
Well, you know, we were talking about this on Friday's show. There's a lot of people out there that are just jumping in the game, that claim to be an expert, that say, I'm so good at this. And then you got to buy my stuff. And then you got to buy my stuff more. And then I want you to buy it every month. And there's commas in these things, and people are spending a lot of money. And then they don't use it, or they're just not aligning themselves with the right people. So tell everybody why you are so special and you actually do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so, I don't know what makes you special, but at least I have some proof of concept. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of people out there who, you're right, they're taking their checkbooks out, they're writing these immense amounts of money to somebody, and, you know, it's two things, right? You could sign up to go to a gym membership, and then you actually still have to go do the work, which I think a lot of people forget. So when people are signing up for these, and I'm not saying don't buy a course. I think that courses and coaching are good for people. I think, you know, Tiger Woods wouldn't be the best in the world if he didn't have a coach. But you have to take everything with a grain of salt. You can't pay for a gym membership and not go and expect results. So if you're thinking about doing something like that, and you're the kind of person that you know you need a coach, it might be the right thing. But for everybody else, there's this free place called YouTube University, and you can go learn everything out there. What a course does in teaching somebody is it just accelerates the process.
Right, and I'm all into the courses too. The reason why I was just trying to just bring this up recently is because there's just so many. So you got to be careful which ones you choose. You got to do a little homework on the people that are pitching it. You want to make sure that they really do know what they're talking about. Because you know, you run into some problems. You spend all this money and you don't get what you need out of it. But and other times there's things you should do. You could try to do yourself. There's things you can learn on your own. And then there's times where you kind of need to hire somebody who is the expert that actually can do it. And that's where somebody like Harrison is coming into the picture when it comes to online presence. And the reason why I say this is, you can do a website, right? You can put one up real quick, but everything else that goes along with these websites, like these funnels, like the SEO and all of these other things that are just in a whole nother world, you really got to know what you're doing to be able to get found. Because you can have the website, but if nobody can find it, then what good is it, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. It's getting found online isn't as hard as everybody thinks it is. It's just you have to go out. You have to do a couple things. You have to go provide value to people, and you have to show that value over and over and over again, right? So Tiger Woods wouldn't be – and I'm just going to use Tiger Woods because everybody, I think, at this point knows golf. Tiger Woods wouldn't be famous if he hit one hole-in-one, right? People hit hole-in-ones, maybe not all the time, but they're moderately common. It's the people that keep showing up and keep performing at the top of their game. And I think that that's kind of where what we do helps people is we can, and anybody could really do this, but you just have to, you can't just do it once. You have to keep showing people over and over and over again. And just because you made one article or one YouTube video doesn't necessarily mean that the world should look at you. You have to show multiple times and use cases and proof that things are actually happening. And when you do that over and over and over again, it develops trust. And that's really how you can build a brand and build success around just about anything you're interested in.
I think that's great advice and a great reminder that you got to be consistent. We talk about consistency a lot on this show, but you got to show up. You got to keep delivering. You got to, you want to over deliver almost because you want to make sure people are getting the value, and then they see you and they're like, oh, this guy's everywhere. Harrison just keeps popping up all over the place. But I like what the man has to say. I like what comes out of his mouth. Got about 2 minutes left, Harrison. Any specifics when it comes to some advice for people on the online presence and what you guys are doing with building the websites and getting the exposure for people?
Yeah, so, if you're looking to get online exposure, I encourage everybody go try it yourself first. I think it's crazy. Feel free to go check out my YouTube channel. Just search my name and I'll come right up. But go watch a ton of content and start trying to build that brand yourself. And it doesn't matter what you're into. You could be into guns, freedom. You could be into woodworking, metalworking. Literally, you could be into worm growing. It literally does not matter. But just go start creating. And when you're completely out of options or you're way too busy and you're like, I don't have time to keep making new content for myself because I have too many customers at this point, that's when you can give us a call or call I don't want to say an expert, but call a marketing company and say, hey, I need more help. Or you have a ton of traffic because you've created a bunch of content and people are starting to find you. And you're like, hey, I need to monetize. I need to make some money off of all the hard work. That's the best time to get in touch with a marketing company because they're going to be able to help you just basically grow money out of the ground. It's kind of insane.
See, growing money out of the ground. We like that. Put a little seed in there, put a little water, give it a little sunshine, a little vitamin D, magical vitamin D, amazing what vitamin D does. And then, boom, there you got some money. So you want to plug a website? Do you have an upcoming event, something important?
Yeah, so I encourage people go check out our company website. It's growth-generators.com. If you guys are interested and you guys want to follow me, it's harrisonbaron.com, HARRISON, Baron, BARON. And that's where you can find us. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, leave a comment on one of our YouTube videos. If you're like, hey, how do I do this? We love making response videos for people and helping them build their brand. And the best part about YouTube and these other outlets, it's totally free. You can go out there, do it all yourself. And then when you need the experts to do the heavy lifting, we're here to help.
What a great resource. I love this YouTube channel. We're going to have to add that to our special business page. So, Harrison, thank you so much for coming back. It's been a long time, and looking forward to talking to you next month, my friend. Thanks for the input and the advice.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Me as well.
Oh, what a good guy. Smart, online, branding. We're segueing into branding. Remember, we're going to be talking to Jaris next about branding Rebirth to reposition and rejuvenate. So between the two of them, look at that synergy, look at that energy. And I know he gave you a couple of websites there, but to make it easy, what we've done is you can easily find all of these incredible guests, which become our partners, because guests, they just kind of come every once in a while. Partners, they're your buddies, right? They're your peeps. They're coming into your family room, which this platform is really one big family room, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get like-minded people, get you all the info, all the resources, all of the tips and takeaways, right, to grow your business, enhance the quality of your life, and make a difference in your community. If you want to make this the ultimate resource platform, so this is your go-to spot to find the people, the messages that matter from the people you need to know about. You never have to use Google again. Like, don't work with a stranger. Why work with a stranger? Work with someone you can listen to what they have to say. See if you even like them. Go to their website, find out what they have to say. A lot of them give a lot of free information. You can do that. Get them free. If you need to hire somebody, you want to work with somebody, don't use Google. No. We want to keep everything in the family, right? That's what we do. So if you go to our website, everythinghomeaboutus.com, that's the one that has all of the pages listed on there. You know, like I got thrown off of the link tree. Remember, they hate me over at Linktree. So we use launch links. Same stuff. Still free, right? Still free. I encourage everybody to do that. And then it'll have all the podcast players if you want to specifically listen to somewhere. And it has all the pages on our website, right? Because there's so many, literally. And, by the way, all of the can't list the page on YouTube. Can't list one on Facebook. Well, YouTube, I'm banned from them for, 2 months or so. And Facebook, you can't stream on Facebook. Can't put any of our websites on Facebook. Can't do it on Instagram either. Must be, what do they say? Over the target. Kind of tired of hearing that, or just speaking the truth, just using common sense, people, which I hope you have your common sense caps on and make sure you leave them on all day. You probably should be sleeping in them. But anyway, go to the website, and then it'll have all the different pages. But if you go to, once you're there, it's a website, Take Action tabs, where you're going to hang out. You're going to hang out on our Take Action tab, and you will see the page that says Purpose Driven Partners. That's these guys. That's these episodes, right? We've got how many? 278 partners with 669 of these live 7-minute segments. Whoa. When I say hundreds of thousands of dollars of free quality content, it is there, right? Everything you need is there. So when, real quick, it's 12:17. I'm going to make sure I'm keeping it tight today. So real quick, when you go onto that page, you're just going to scroll. You're going to be a scrolling fiend. Remember, this is a work and warehouse of quality content. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to see the graphic. You're going to see the title. You're going to see all those pretty photos of all the people. You're going to see the topics. And then below that in the show notes, you're going to have their name and their company name. You're going to click on it because it's in that special blue, like a live link, and it gets you right to their website so you can find them. And don't forget, check out our must listen to page. Listen, because that's where we'll listen to everybody else's shows. Yeah. And then don't forget, you got the Patriotic Media page, because that's important, because that's where you're going to get the truth as opposed to the stuff that you see on TV, like the crap that I listen to on Sunday, just so I can see what the other side's talking about. Sunday morning shows, Fox embarrassing with that Chris Wallace, All right, let's get this show back on track. My next guest is Mr. Jaris Tucker. Oh, Sam, we haven't seen Jaris in a long time. He's the founder of Real One-on-One Consulting, Business, Marketing, Branding, and Advertising. It is time for a branding rebirth to reposition and rejuvenate on a big round of applause. Jaris, where you been, my friend? You better been making a lot of money.
You know I'm rocking and rolling, Michelle. Rocking and rolling.
So I was like, I haven't seen him in a while. I think I'm going to have to lightly stalk him and find out what's going on. I said, he's gotten to be too famous for us over here at Everything Home, a little too famous. He's like, sorry, guys, I got to go hang out with my really big, cool new friends. That's all right. He'll come back around. They usually always do, just a little bit of time. So anything exciting that's been going on recently before we jump into some rebirth about branding?
Yeah, everything's exciting, Michelle, when you recognize your own worth and you start to understand yourself. The doors of opportunity are unlimitless, and there are countless opportunities that come my way. So, I'm just blessed and amazed. That's all.
Wow. You're always a breath of fresh air, my friend, in times of turmoil and chaos and, everything's kind of going to hell in a double hand. What is it? Hell in a handbasket. There you go. Handbasket. You're always throwing out some positive vibes and reassuring people that, you still got to show up every day and figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And then when you do, boom, the magic happens. So I wanted to talk a little bit about branding and rebirthing, repositioning, rejuvenating, because it's Omnipotent October. We got 1 week left, and then we're going to be heading into Never Turn Back November. So I think everybody needs a good kick in the butt, and everybody needs a new little dusting off, and let's give them some ideas.
Yeah, that's ironic that you said that. That's the exact process that I'm in now. Rebranding and rebirthing myself and my company. So anybody that's an entrepreneur, you have a product or a service of your own business, then you understand the trials and tribulations that we go through. And sometimes when you're an entrepreneur, you find yourself doing a lot of things on your own, or you're working harder hours, and things can get better and they can get worse. But when you're rebranding and you want to re-look at yourself, the first thing to me that comes to mind is go back in time in your mind when you first started your company, when you first started to put out your product or service. How were you feeling? What were some of the things you were excited about? What was something that you couldn't wait to offer a potential client or customer? Try to go back to that and just experiment with in the past. Okay, this used to work for me, and somehow we got away from that. Go back to your roots. Don't even try to do anything that's too hard, too complicated. Keep things simple. Go back to, hey, look, you know what? When I first started, I was very positive. Over time, with the business up and down, losing money, whatever the case may be, you may have lost your enthusiasm. So try to go back and pick up whatever excitement it was when you first started to become an entrepreneur. Go back to that, kind of bring that to life. That would be the first thing I would say start with, Michelle.
I think that's perfect because it segues into Never Look Back November. So we don't want you looking back, and so you got a week in order to do this, people. There's no reason why you can't, because you actually get the weekend, the upcoming weekend. I know you're going trick or treating. I know you're going to go to your Halloween costume parties, right? You got to get all like gussied up, but there's a point in time where we kind of got to rebrand and put our business first. We want to get that stuff in order, because then once you have that kind of sorted out, then you can really just take everything to the next level. All right, another tip. Let's give them another tip.
Another tip is a lot of us fail to realize how important your mission statement is. A lot of business owners, I'm saying that, don't even have a mission statement, or they don't even know their mission statement. Relook at your mission statement, and the people that are working for you, talk to them. Get their ideas. Get some of your customers' ideas on areas that you can improve in. You always have to be open to criticism. Something that has helped me to win, for lack of a better word, is I don't mind looking at my competitors. I look at people who I feel maybe on a higher level, for lack of a better word, and I look and I see and study, okay, what are my competition doing? Okay, they're giving away free promos, or they're doing things to make their customers feel more at home with them. You always look at yourself. I don't care what it is or what you're doing, whatever business role, you're a CEO, entrepreneur, executive director. You always look at yourself in the mirror, because you're a human being first. So know your values, know what makes you tick, know what makes you get excited. Try to wrap that up somehow into your mission statement. You want your customers and potential people, when you're marketing, to feel some type of way. See, I market my company off of positivity and moving forward and excitement. So when people hear Jaris Tucker, Real One-on-One Consultant, or the hashtag Thinkers at Work, they're already going to know, hey, even if I don't buy his product or hire him for marketing, I'm still going to gain some type of value. And what happens is a lot of people that are potential clients, they won't even need me to do some marketing. They might talk to a friend and say, hey, look, Jaris does marketing, but he's also this motivational speaker. And hearing in your company you need some help. So I get referrals just from doing the right thing, just for adding the value that I know have, and people might not specifically want to go down this avenue with marketing, but they are fascinated by my positivity, and that leads me to maybe doing podcasts, a lot of collaborations. The doors of opportunity are unlimited when you remain true to who you are and put that out to the universe.
Well said, my friend. And we love collaboration here on this platform and encourage people to do that. Like, dig into your databases and find out. You mentioned competition. You know what? There's competition in regards to somebody doing something similar to you, but nobody's like you. Nobody does it just like you. And each person is different when it comes to how they interact with others, right? Somebody might think you're awesome, and then somebody might think that the guy that is doing something similar is awesome, and so it's personalities. So you can always create alliances with. So don't look at it as competition. Look at it as kind of an alliance, because really there is no competition, because nobody's just like you. I mean, there's only one Jaris Tucker, right? So do you really have competition? No, you don't. So you got to reposition your reality, people. 1226. Plug your website, my friend, anything, an upcoming event, if you got something, or if you got something real special in the hopper you want to share.
It's always something special with me right now, just pushing networking. There is definitely power in networking. And I encourage everybody to follow my hashtag Thinkers at Work on any social media platform. You can even Google it. If you want to get in contact with me directly, I have this wonderful Text Me Now number. It's 434-299-2522. And I'm very active on LinkedIn. Yeah,
he is. He's got a huge following on LinkedIn, people. So go hang out with him over there, and maybe some of the engagement, and will rub off on you. Not to mention, you always want to have some good friends online, and that is Mr. Jaris Tucker. So thank you, my friend. Don't be a stranger. I better see you come on back and share some space in the family room over here in November.
Yes, ma'am. It's always a pleasure and an honor. I'm going to sign up on November real soon. Thank you so much, Michele.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Good to hear from you. All right. It's 1227. I'm going to keep it tight. We're going to get back on track here And just real quick to talk about the website, you're going to go to everythinghomeaboutus.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com. That gives you a laundry list of websites or the website pages. So when you get to the Take Action tab, I want you to check out the live events and virtual events, right? We're going to be adding to that all the time because there's just so many important ones. And we're going to be talking with Merissa here in just another second, 12:27. All right, so we're good to go. And I want you to check out the COVID facts tab, because they're coming for us, man. They're coming for us. You need to make sure you're healthy. You need the facts. You need the information. And we, again, all need to join together at this point because, we need to mobilize. We need to multiply. And we need to stand up for our freedoms here. This tyranny is just out of control. We're going to talk about that a little bit here with Merissa. All right, let me get back on track. My next guest, Merissa Hamilton. She's an entrepreneur, community-driven thought leader, and the co-founder of EasyAZ.org. They're focused on education to make Arizona civic action easy as pie. It's time to get off the couch, people, and get involved. The state's got lots of problems because we got people that are leading it, or shall I say, in leadership positions that they're not good. Big round of applause. Merissa, how are you today?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I am good. I believe the last time you were on location in a parking lot because we were at a bank location. You were a roving reporter for us. And that was last month. It seemed like a generation ago because there's always so many bad things happening in Arizona. Some good, too. But there just always seems to be, the people running this state, they literally keep running it into the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. It is horrifying what's happening in Arizona, but especially across our country.
Yeah, it is. It's getting worse. It's accelerating. But the reason why we keep talking about it is because we really want people to stand up and do something. And if you need some reassurance that by actually joining together and getting involved with different groups and actually, meeting out in public with people, right? And no mask, no dirty masks. You don't need to do any of that stuff. It works. Look at Southwest Airlines, right? And you've got a lot of these healthcare facilities that things are turning around, but you need to stand up. But you also need somebody to orchestrate that, somebody to organize it. And that's what Marissa's doing over at EasyAZ.org and making it easy. So you want to talk schools first? You want to talk non-vaccine? What's going on here? I want to be really specific with something to bring this awareness for people because I just can't believe that people have their kids in any of these public schools that are not charter or run by Nazis and demons and Satan.
Yeah, we were thankful that Governor Ducey initially put out a fund that parents could get scholarships for their children if they were stuck in a school that was doing a mask mandate, which is in violation of the law and which Democrats are now fighting. But it filled up very, very quickly. And so we know that there is a huge need for school choice in Arizona. We have so many kids that do not have access to opportunities. And really the money should follow the students. It shouldn't be a situation where these, bureaucrats are trying to control what education children can have, especially since we had the National School Board Association coordinate with the DOJ to weaponize the DOJ against families, calling them terrorists for simply participating in public comment, peaceful public comment at their school board meetings. It's absolutely disgusting what's happening under this federal administration.
Yeah, and then they wrote that letter that says, oops, sorry. Well, oops, sorry is not enough. And you've already poked the bear, and it's not a really good idea, but I really want to encourage everybody out there that's listening, whether you have kids in school or not, you've got to jump on this bandwagon because not only are they doing the CRT, they're now just kind of disguising it as SEL. But yet, here's the problem, Merissa. Our people are elected elites. They said SEL is okay, right? Isn't that one that didn't get in part of the legislation to be removed? But then again, as soon as they put something in these bills, nobody follows it anyway. But then the people in charge aren't having any consequences to what's going on. And, there was something that said, oh, no masks. But yet now the schools are requiring the masks. I mean, people in Arizona, people in this country, they're so frustrated because no sooner do you think we got that checked off the list, there's no enforcement, there's no nothing. So what are we doing over at EZAZ to at least do something so people don't have some sort of hope? Because we need action, but we need enforcement when people aren't following the rules.
Yeah, we have 3 important things happening. So one, we have partnered with an organization called America PAC. They have a smaller work group, and one of those work groups is specifically focused on school boards. Another one is focused on the city council. They also have one focused on the legislature. And so these groups organize to monitor the government, to monitor the agenda items, and organize parents for public comment at the school board or at the legislature or the city council. And so this is a very effective organization. I'm very excited for the work that they have going on, and you can reach out to them if you want to get involved at americapac.org. The second thing we have going on is we have also partnered with FreedomWorks BEST program. And the BEST program is to really empower parents, but they are specifically also looking to help people run for school board. And so if you have no political experience at all, but you are saving our kids and saving our schools and having our schools focused on academics, not all of this propaganda with teaching racism, racist, or the sexual pornography that we're finding is in our classrooms. If you're against that, then you need to think about running for school board. And the FreedomWorks BEST program can help you with that. And their website is parentsknowbest.com. And then the third thing that we have going on is we have created a sister organization, a C3, that is under the name easycivics.org. That's EZ, the letters, and civics.org. And we are having a boot camp series to train people as to how their government actually operates. The first part of the day in the morning, this will be on November 13th, is an Arizona Constitution class, how to use the Arizona Constitution to support our liberty and freedom. And then we have the EZAZ Fab 5 Essentials for Freedom training during the lunchtime, and we'll probably have a panel of legislators that will help us with that. And that's the basic boots on the ground activity like phone banking, door knocking, petitions, postcard writing, and these are the fundamental essentials to take our state back, especially during the next election cycle. And then the most important part of the class is from the Center for Self-Governance, and I call this the Guardians of Our Government program. This is their political leadership class. This is a very important class because they take the approach that government should be not considered in them, like those bad people, those bad bureaucrats, but it should be looked at as more like an engine. And we, the people, are the pilots and the mechanics operating on that engine and flying that plane of freedom. And so this is a 3-part series. This will be the first of 3 parts, and it teaches you actually how to operate your government, how to be effective in changing your government. And I'm so excited that they're coming because we have the DOJ trying to take over our police department, and they have a lot of success in getting the federal government out of our state business and saying, get out of here, DOJ. We love our Phoenix Police Department, and it's not okay for you to try to attack them because they stopped violent rioters.
Yeah, I saw something. I think it was one of the posts that you did about maybe the squirrely vice mayor and the funding the police and changing all kinds of rules. Mm-hmm. Really, that's a brilliant idea. Let's take the cops off the streets so they can cause more problems, kill more people, burn more things, and loot. It's just it is unbelievable to think that they allowed all that to happen last year. Yes, they did. They allowed it to happen. People in the elected elite positions, because by design, people, they wanted that. They have to keep in mind, your government is not your friend. So we need to kick them out, remove them. As far as I'm concerned, we should get rid of everybody that's in elected positions and start from scratch. But, That's why we got organizations like EasyAZ.org in order to show you how to do that, because you need to step into these roles, because these people do not need to be there. They do not look out for you. They don't care about you. They don't care about this country. They hate you, actually. They actually hate you. So keep that in mind. They are not your friend. Merissa, plug the website real quick. I love all this great information. I love that you guys are so specific, because that's a lot of the times these organizations, they take on all these issues, but then they're what are they need to focus like on, maybe 2 or 3 and just drill into that. So if everybody's just focused on a few, and then that's the go-to group for that, then we can actually accomplish something, because not everybody's all spread so thin. We have on the conservative side, we always have this problem with unity. So I encourage everybody to do that. If you have a group, pick a lane and go with it. So real quick, plug the website, and if I know you have an event coming up. I think there's one recent soon.
Yes, EasyAZ.org. And our next event is November 13th, our boot camp series for people that want to be serious about taking our freedom back in Arizona and across the nation. I highly recommend signing up for this important day, because this is how together we will take our freedom back. We have got to be educated in how government works, so that then we can operate in a strategic manner, so that our time and effort and energy and resources are spent on making a difference and taking our freedom back, following the Constitution, and holding those political leaders accountable for doing the right thing.
Yeah, there's power in numbers, peeps. So it's time that we all finally join together and literally get off the couch. Thank you, Merissa, for everything that you're doing, and keep up the great work, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for all that you're doing. It's a pleasure for being on again. Thank you again.
All right, we'll talk to you next month. Okay, so I'm running a little bit behind. It's 12:39. And just so you know, we're talking about all these different groups. You need to get involved. You can be involved in more than one group, right? Because those groups hopefully are going to be really kind of specific about what they do, rather than try to do everything. No reason to do that, because there's multiple groups. But if the people come together, right, and everybody fixes on this one group that does this, one group does this, right, then but they all work together. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're doing with the Save My Freedom movement, SaveMyFreedom.us. SaveMyFreedom.us. It's a group over in Clout Hub with subcategories. So then you can find the categories. You're going to look at the categories and say, okay, well, I got 20 minutes today in order to find out what's going on or what I can do. Then you're going to go to that category. If you want some resources, you want some information, you want some meetings, and then we're going to break it down into states. But right now it's going to be in general categories. So we're going to bring all these groups together so that we can find all the information literally in one spot. So everybody works together. So instead of this group have 500, this group have 1,000, this group has 500. Now all of a sudden all the groups are actually in one location, right? They still have their identity. They still are doing their objectives. Now what'd you say? Oh, you have 2,000 people. Now you got 2,000. 2,000 making phone calls. 2,000 showing up at an event. 2,000 people shouting and letting their voices be heard. Big difference, peeps. So it's about unity. It's about coming together. Remember, we're talking about collaboration and all the other wonderful things earlier in the show. So it is 12:40. Oops, I am way over. All right, let me bring on my next guest. My next guest is a new partner. I told you I needed some more peeps that are into fitness and wellness and personal improvement, and they just start showing up. So this is Christian Elliot. He's a personal trainer, life coach, and the CEO of True Whole Human. There's whole human, like WH, and then another H for human. So it's like a tongue twister. Their full spectrum health transformation. We love the transformation program. Is everything you need to get healthy and become a more confident person. Wow, like a nicer person too, I'm sure. Audience, big round of applause. Welcome, Christian Elliot, to our Patriotic Purpose-Driven Resource Platform. How are you today?
I am well. Thank you for having me.
Well, of course you're well, because you are like a personal trainer and you're like a healthy person, and you probably like drank some sort of special juice this morning in a smoothie, and you already went for a run, right? That's what you do.
Exactly. No, you totally nailed it.
And I've had 2 cups of coffee, and my rear end's dragging on the ground. So maybe I need to be more like Christian Elliot, I think.
Maybe.
So tell us a little bit about you and why you are so special at what you're doing here with this health transformation program that I need to be healthy and more transformed formed into a new attitude here. Just so you know, in case you haven't listened to the show before, the exercise portion, I mean, I'm pretty good with the health when it comes to the food. I'm good with that. But when it comes to the exercise portion of the show and exercise portion of me, I'm the laziest mofo that there is. I'm telling you. So when you guys come on, you're all like, Michele, you gotta do it. And I'm like, I know. I guess I'm getting old, dude. I can see it. I don't want to look at it. I know no one else wants to look at it. So just to give you a heads up. So I'm working on the attitude change.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, I guess if there's anything that makes what we do special, it's probably that we've laser focused on that puzzle of I know what to do, but I can't make myself do it. So that has become our probably the most repeated thing we hear people say, really when it comes to changing just about anything, but in particular when it comes to your health. And there's so many puzzles as to where the motivation goes or what brings it on and what triggers us to want to become better. And so really we've built a wellness business around, yes, we can get deep into the tactics of health and all sorts of different habits we all know we need to build, but what is the person-specific human nature element of this where this person has good information, but they're not acting on it? And then we even take it a step further and say, okay, you've got information and we understand you're getting to know yourself better, but what's the context of the life that this person is living that these changes need to be engineered within? Like how many kids do you have? What kind of responsibilities fill your plate? What kind of support structure do you have? And when you get to the granular detail, there's so many of those realities are influential on the health you have or the will you have to practice the health habits. And often health isn't the hardest part to figure out. It's you, and it's what does the puzzle look like when it comes to getting well. And so that's really where we make our mark is helping people look at that, really the whole human, of looking at all of the moving parts of what it would take to create a breakthrough.
Breakthrough. So, I know that, like you just said, there's a lot of moving parts, but let's just try to simplify it. So take somebody like me. I'll be the guinea pig. I'll throw myself out there onto the pavement to get run over by the exercise bus. All right. So, what is something that I can do, and not say just go for a walk? I know that. So what we think will actually just take? What'll be the? I don't want to say breaking point or something that I can to reposition my own brain, where it's like, well, this sounds stupid that I'm having this conversation, but I know a lot of other people are in the same boat. Like, what is it? I mean, it's not like a lot of times people are like, oh, I had a heart attack, and then all of a sudden I had to come to Jesus, and now all of a sudden I decided to exercise. So we don't want that to happen to anybody. But what is it that what do you notice from all of the people, because you've had so many clients over the years, that one thing that you can push them and they go, all right, that's what I needed, you know what I mean? I don't help. Yeah. Help you form the question too. It's part of it. Yeah. There's a lot of different, it's person specific on some level, but there are definitely universal experiences we all have. So one very common one is just a feeling of purpose. And it sounds funny maybe to start like, what's the meaning of life? Well, it's not there so much. It's like, what is it that gets you out of bed that makes you showing up at your best worth it? And when you can start to attach, in this case, exercise and the discipline it takes to do it to, I get to show up and be fully present. I get to bring my best self to this person that needs me or this battle that I have to fight. And it starts to take on meaning beyond just what feels like rote duty of this, like I'm supposed to be a good human and do this thing. And so, of course, I'll exercise and then you get bored with it and not have variety. So but if you can carve out the time and you can become fascinated by the question, what would it take for me to become consistent at this and to wedge the time into my life? And then I can rearrange all sorts of different ways I use it. But having it matter to the bigger life that you want to live, then suddenly exercise takes on meaning because it gives you the energy. It helps you sleep better. It gives you a faster metabolism and so on. And those things are just servants to a life that's actually worth living. So that'd be one thing I could point to that's pretty common that people often overlook when it comes to finding the will to start to become consistent with exercise. Yeah, it's just a matter of pulling your head out of your arse and doing it, because we all know it's something that you need to do. You don't have to go to the gym 10 times a week, right? You don't have to do an hour a day. Just simple stuff, movement. It's all about movement, and especially you want to be you want to be healthy, you got to make the time. It doesn't have to be long. Start with 10, 11 minutes, something real quick. Christian, give me something health-wise with food. If you, because I know you're a nutritionist too. You're one of those real healthy people.
Something with food. Okay. Yeah, I guess something quick I could say would be one of the most often overlooked aspects of turning your health around or becoming a healthier person is focusing on your digestion. And the reality is if you could have the most nutritious food in the world, but if you can't disassemble it and absorb it, or if you've got a dysbiosis, an unfriendly colony of organisms living inside you that just make havoc inside your gut, they're wrecking your ability to digest your food. So if you can focus on building good gut health, that often is the waypoint to better health across the board, because you can have digestive woes that are obvious, like, oh, my gut feels weird, but you can have all sorts of other problems with your health that are seemingly unrelated to the gut, but have their roots in a gut wall that leaks or in an inefficient digestive system that creates the brain fog and creates the thyroid problem or creates the pain that you have here and there. So often that is the best place to start when it comes to getting your health back, is doing a deep dive into how well is my gut working and what would it take to turn it around.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the gut. I'm going to keep you on just for another couple of minutes because I think it's an important question for everybody because it keeps coming up. You was talking about gut health, and over the weekend, the Ty and Charlene Bollinger had The Truth About Cancer conference, 3 days, all big headliner speakers, and that was a lot of the topics. That's the one that piqued my interest. There was probiotics, there was prebiotics, and I was like, oh, get something else to learn. So,
right.
There's, every day it comes at you, right? So, if you have a recommendation for a specific probiotic that somebody should be taking, and let us know how often, because I need to get on something. I need to do something because there were so many amazing, interesting points that had to do more than just the cancer part, right? That's just the name of their company and their movement. But it had to do about the gut and the digestive. I think it sounds like it's the most. It is linked to the kidney, and then it was unbelievable the information that I learned. So, what can we take? Like, what should we do?
Yeah, I mean, the short version is there's really 3 ways you can think about rebuilding the health of your gut. One is to spend time in nature. That's where the diversity of the microbes that end up populating our gut are. So the more of the earth you can touch in as many forms as possible, different bodies of water, the better. When it comes to the next layer, it's food, actually. So it's fermented foods. You're going to have billions more populate your gut. You're going to have more diversity of microbes that you can get from food. And then when it comes to probiotics specifically, you can think of it like a 3-legged stool almost. There's 3 different types of probiotics. There's spore-based, there's lactobacillus-based, and there's soil-based. So the breadth of them is often where we make the most difference in the way that we heal our gut, because the gut needs diversity. Tens of thousands of different kinds of microbes should be living inside us. And the more breadth we have, the more possibility we have to repopulate a gut or to rebalance it so that good health can return. So finding those 3, there's different companies sometimes that sell them in one formulation, or you can get 3 different bottles and do it that way. But that's the very quick version of how I think about rebuilding a gut with what you input your body. There's also what you don't put in your body. That's also part of the equation.
It's interesting that you said spend time in nature. Because you're always just thinking food, right? You're always just thinking food and exercise. But the part of the conference, which I thought was interesting, and I'll let you go because it's 12:51. They were talking about frequency medicine, which not only did it had to do with the meridians, right? Because you're talking about Chinese medicine, but they were talking about the inflammation, and you're talking about past trauma, like even issues that. An event that you had in your life, and then all of a sudden it actually then goes to the gut, goes to the health, goes to these frequencies. And it was just fascinating how it is all more than just the food. And you just kind of solidified that by mentioning the first thing you came out of the chute there was spending time in nature and then breathing. And I was like, wait a second, I thought it was just the food that I eat. So that's only one portion. So
right.
Yeah,
and what you don't put your body is also majorly important because so many things wreck your gut microbiome. Obviously, antibiotics are hard on it, but any sort of drug and a lot of the chemicals that we are bombarded with literally rot or deteriorate the walls of our gut, make them porous. And so removing the insult is really the first step before you even work on building back with good probiotics or increasing the microbiome of your digestive tract.
And then the probiotic is a powder, or is it actual food, or is it a pill? Like we need another pill, pill in a good way, like a supplement.
You
pill.
can.
I'm not talking. Okay.
Yeah, no, you probiotics you can get in pill form. Prebiotics are just what probiotics eat. It's just food. So giving the probiotics something to eat is essentially what they're saying. But it's often you can just get probiotics in a capsule. The challenge is getting enough breadth of them to really make a difference. And if you haven't removed the source of the injury, you're just spending a lot of money on probiotics that may or may not make much difference.
See, there's the analysis part where you've got to kind of figure some stuff out, peeps. So it's not just popping that pill and thinking you're good to go. You got to kind of go to the root of the problem. It's like when there's pain, right? There's pain, you just don't take pain medication because then the pain's still there. You just don't feel it because you're numb. You're like a zombie. Yeah, you don't need to do that. Fascinating. Boy, this is yet more to learn. But sometimes this is why you need a guide, right? You need to cut through the noise and get right to the point and work with somebody like Christian who takes the heavy lifting out so then he just analyze it, tell you what to do, rather than sometimes you don't have to put all this in your little brains, because my brain's maxed out right now on all this. I got like something something else for my long ass to-do list. Thanks, Christian. Give your website and
hey,
would you?
You're welcome. Yeah, to your point, your previous guest, we all need coaches. Nobody knows everything, and it's nice to have somebody speed up the process for you. So, yeah, our website is truewholehuman.com. You can even actually take a quiz on there that gives you a little window into, we came up with 4 different transformation types where you get to know your wiring and helps you answer that I know what to do but can't make myself do it question. I also have a blog, Deconstructing Conventional, where I just write about all sorts of topics like this, and I've got several blog posts on COVID and vaccines and things like that people have found helpful.
That is brilliant. We love the quality content, the free information. Christian, Elliot, welcome to our Patriotic Purpose-Driven Resource Platform. Make sure you join us next month. I promise I'm going to get some movement going, and I'm going to work on my probiotic, my prebiotic, my postbiotic, my biotics. I'm going to work on that.
All right.
Thanks
so
my
much
friend.
for having me.
Have a great week. Have a great, healthy week. And, run a lap for me. Would you just do that right now? Just tell me that you're going to run a lap for me.
All right, I got you. I don't know if it'll help you, but I'll run it.
We're connected spiritually. It's okay. What I feel, you feel. It's like the E.T. phone home, right? E.T., remember E.T. and the kid?
Right, no, I totally remember that, yeah.
So there you go.
Excellent.
Then that's me and you. You go run, and I'll stay here and anchor the show. Now you do a little exercise for me, and we'll call it even.
All right.
Thank you, my friend.
Divide and conquer. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh, my God, why am I so lazy when it comes to exercise? But you know what? I'm not alone. I know there's a lot of people listening that do the same thing. All right, so what I'm going to do, I can't even believe I'm going to say this on air. Well, this is what I decided. I said, the only way that it seems to be that I do certain things that I don't want to do is I'm making myself accountable to other people, right? Isn't that how we somehow figure out how to make ourselves do something? So, I've decided to, I'm going to start doing we're going to start doing this group. I'm reaching out to a lot of these experts that are on our platform, these incredible partners. We're going to put together this monster mastermind group, right, with multiple people, right? And it's going to have all the different categories. The 3, I call them the pillars of life, the 3-legged stool, which is interesting that Christian just mentioned that. So you're going to hear, tips to experts and partners that grow your business, the ones that enhance the quality of your life, which this segment's like an enhance the quality of your life segment, and then how to make a difference, especially in your communities, because that's important, because we need to do those take action items. So we're in the process of bringing all these incredible people together. I've got a magic number. I'm saying 12. I don't know if it's feasibly possible to give you that much value 3 times a week. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Like, no offense to any other group, but you're not going to want to be a part of any other group. Why would you? If you can get 12 awesome people giving you information every single month and doing group settings, interactive, right, where you can see them, you can ask questions, you can have a conversation, because we're going to be using Clout Hub's new format that they have, which basically their groups and their meetings that they have. They're a combination of Zoom and Clubhouse. So it is the most engaging and interactive way that you can work with and see people. So we're going to do a lot of this video stuff. I hate the video, but I do like the video. It's just the prep work, you know what I mean? The hair, the makeup. And I hate doing that. Literally, I'm going on these shows. I'm guest hosting for Dr. Alan Keyes, and I'm guest hosting for Dr. John Diamond over on RightTN.tv. So I'm doing that, and I've got to get ready. You know what I mean? There's only so many times I can pop that hat on. So you're literally like an hour and 20 minutes, because TV ready is different than ready like when you leave the house. You're going to put on makeup, like extra layers, and then by the time you finish, and you finish your hair, you got to refix everything because you're melting, because you're old. You're melting with your makeup and you're melting with your hair. So it's like an hour and a half of your life you'll never get back. So that's why I don't throw on the video. Well, not to mention, you've got 7 guests that come on. You got these 5 guests in the first hour. It's 7 minutes in, and amongst the other stuff that I'm doing, like we throw in a little bit of the sound effects and things like that. And then I got to keep track. I got to bring them on. No producer. There's no big operation here, right? So I'm flying solo with all that. But anyway, that's why I can't do the video with this. But I'm thinking, I'll figure out a way. I'll figure out a way to do it. So it's 12:58. So I'm waiting for Annie. Annie's calling in here at like 1-ish, right? So what do I want to say? Oh, so we're going to start this group. We're going to start this amazing group. That'll be the most engaging group literally that there is, because it's not just going to be a one-way session. You're not just going to be able to go ahead and type in questions and stuff like that. So you're going to get an incredible content, and hopefully we'll have it ready to go in like another week. I mean, we're going to launch it and go, right? Because it literally is going to be the ultimate mastermind engagement collaboration, like the collaboration consortium. Because not only are you going to be getting information and interacting with all of these incredible experts, you're going to be able to network. And we're going to make sure that, everybody's put in different categories when it comes to their businesses. Because we want you to be able to make money and work with each other and buy and sell each other's products and services, right? Remember, we don't need to use Google. All the referrals, they're right here. So we're bringing together the like-minded people that why not introduce them to each other? There's 100 million of us like-minded people out there that don't like what's going on, in this country, that don't like what's going on in this world. Remember, we talked about not supporting these businesses that are making people get the non-vaccine. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to participate in those type of people. So, we don't need them. We don't need them. I've just seen that Fitz just called in. Fitz is running a little late. Let me bring her on real quick. Annie, bear with me. I'm bringing you on, but if you can just give me a few minutes here, I want to bring on Fitz, even though it's 1 o'clock. So, Fitz Koehler, she is our professional speaker, race announcer, author, and president of Fitness, like fitness and Fitz. Get it, guys? Specializing in common sense fitness, wellness education. So let me bring her on. Audience, big round of applause. We got the queen of the racing exercise. Dude, it's 1 o'clock. You're late. What's going on? What happened?
I live out in the woods. I'm in redneck land here in Gainesville, Florida, and I literally was in a place where I had 0 reception. And by the time I realized it, I had to get in my Jeep and drive out to a place with reception. So I'm so sorry.
Oh, you didn't have to do that, silly girl. You and I are friends. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. I just wanted to bring you on, even though we're running behind schedule. Give us something to share, and then jump on again if you can for the next available date. Like I think the second week in November or so, or find a spot, because I want you to share longer. So you get on as soon as you can, and make sure you get on twice for November and then December, even though I'm wasting your time when you should be sharing things. So give us something to inspire.
So this is my big share. It's a bit of a brag, but I just finished chemo last May, And 2 weeks ago, I ran the Boston Marathon. And so,
oh my God,
yay for me.
Congratulations.
Yes, and that was thank you so much. And that was my very first marathon. But the moral of the story is, no matter what you're going through, keep on going and prioritize your health. And I was emaciated. I was wasted. My muscle was gone. I was gaunt and skinny and scary and all of those horrible things that we see with cancer patients. And then 2 weeks ago, I was a bit of a badass because I took on one of the hilliest, most exciting courses in the world, and I crushed it. I did it slowly, but I did it. So whoever you are, push the envelope. You can do better. You can be better. Life sitting in a chair is not a whole heck of a lot of stuff. You don't have to run the Boston Marathon, but you can take a walk around your block. Maybe you can take a walk downtown. Maybe you can hike or climb a mountain or go for a great swim. But, life is good, and with good health, anything is possible.
Amen to that, sister. And every time I hear your stories and you come on the show, I feel like a loser because I'm not following your lead and doing.
Hey, you know what, Michele? It's not about feeling bad. It's about feeling motivated. It's about saying, you know what? Can I do a little better today? Am I pushing all of the parts of me to the max? Probably not. Most people aren't going all out, and so do a little better. Choose broccoli over French fries next time you're at a restaurant, or choose to walk the dogs instead of asking your kids to do it. There's always something more you can do.
See, I loved how you spun that around. You just said, just being a little bit more motivated as opposed to saying, okay, you suck because you don't walk around the block or do
that's
a little
waste
something.
of energy.
Yeah, see,
absolute waste of energy.
That is a great way to reposition my crappy attitude when it comes to exercise. So I was telling Christian just before you came on, I said, man, I gotta do something because, the older we get, the more it's important to have just some sort of movement. Not to mention,
it's always important. It's
for
always.
Health. It's for cosmetic reasons. There's some flabby stuff that I don't want to look at. Like no one wants to see that, right?
Yeah, it's vanity. Vanity matters, but again, quality of life. And you know what? We all want to live really long, right? And there's some curmudgeons that are like, I don't want to live to 80. That sounds horrible. Well, good for you. Go jump off a bridge. But the rest of us, we would like to enjoy our families for a long time. But it's no fun to be elderly and be stuck in bed or stuck in a chair. If you're going to get old, do it gracefully. Be the kind of old person that can go golfing and go dancing and go swimming and enjoy every day. You are setting the stage for your golden years right now. And if you're not taking care of your body, don't expect miracles when you hit 70 and 80 and so forth. You've got to put in the effort today. And just because you might have been a slacker before doesn't mean you can't make amazing progress moving forward. So prioritize you. That's what I'm here to do. I prioritize me. I went from scrawny, skinny, scary cancer patient to Boston Marathon finisher. And if I can do that, y'all can do a lot better than you're doing.
Well, and just to second that motion, you were in great shape before you got the cancer, which probably why you were able to fight it as well as you did and come back as well as you did, and also didn't stop working during the entire time that you were going through the chemo.
Right.
So because you were already in good shape. So that is another. So because we're going to get these things, right? At some point you might get the fake COVID. You might actually get the SARS-CoV-2, which is really what it is. So and you might get these non-vaccine people shed on you, right? So they're going to shed on you, and they're going to give you their little variant that they created in their own little like a petri dish of a human factory. So you got to have that strong deal in order to fight it.
No matter
right?
No matter what the obstacle, prepare your body to do battle today because you never know when illness or injury will strike. And again, this is a hopeful message because this is all about good choices. If you're a healthy person like me and you get cancer, you survive it. You're a healthy person like me, you get COVID, you survive it. You get the flu, you survive it. And you come out better than maybe you were before. But you got to start today. Don't wait, and don't be that guy who's like, I'm 50, I can't. Baloney, you're 50, you're choosing to be a couch potato. Okay, you make choices. Life is full of choices, and that's exactly what we point at the other side. They act helpless. They act like victims. They act like they're in control of nothing, and all of their failures are blamed on us. So stop. Stop blaming anybody but yourself for your weight gain, your weight loss, your lack of health, your lack of energy, your lack of motivation. That all comes down to you. And if you're going to stand on the right side of history, you have to take personal responsibility in every aspect of your life.
Oh, that is brilliant, my friend. I love how you say prepare your body to do battle today. Don't be a Karen. Go walk around the block and no, wear a mask.
That's
Give
right.
your website, my dear.
That's right. At fitzness.com. F as in Frank, ITZNESS.com.
And I looked at it yesterday. It is loaded with all kinds of new updated information, new format. It's wonderful. Go check it out, everybody. Fitz, get back in that Jeep and go keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Michele.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Oh, God, I love her. She is one heck of an incredible individual in the Freedom State of Florida. Fitz Koehler. Yeah, go check out her website, everybody. Fitzness.com. All right, so let me get this show on the road when it comes to the Patriotic Soapbox version today. What am I saying? I'm not even sure. So Annie has been awesome. She texted me. She said, I'm here. So, and she's going to come on the show often. So you're going to get a little dose today, but you'll hear her often. We've bonded. We're on the same page. We're out there just trying to get you guys the information, the truth. So let's start Michelle's Patriotic Soapbox. I got 3 guests, but first we're going to do Annie Cyrus. Audience, let's get this show on the road. Cue the intro.
This is Everything Home's special segment. Messages that matter from people you need to know about. Heroes, do-gooders, and purpose-driven patriots. Offering tips, solutions, inspiration, and entertainment. They truly are good people, doing good business and good things. Here's your host, Michele Swinick, the queen of quality content. Enjoy the show.
My first special guest in the soapbox today is Annie Cyrus. She's a former child bride from Iran who has devoted her life to defending, rescuing, and shining a light on the plight of women and girls suffering oppression around the world, particularly where fundamentalist Islam has taken hold. Oh, it just makes my blood boil. She is a human rights activist and social media influencer with nearly 3 million views of her previous Illinois appearances. Yeah, she means business, boys and girls. And Annie brings her unique experience of having been sold as a slave. I cannot believe that when I heard that on one of the shows she did. She was married as a child, imprisoned as a teen, and smuggled over borders. That's what that religion's all about, people. Islam. She was an asylum seeker and became a legal U.S. citizen the legal way and a freedom-loving patriot. No, she's a follower of Jesus Christ. In spite of the danger, she has risen to become a model of extreme courage. And that is the truth, determination, compassion, and strength. Audience, big round of applause for a God and country-loving, oppression-crushing, people-protecting, passionate freedom fighter. Annie, my buddy, how are you today, my friend?
I am doing all right. I am hanging in there. I'm so glad I called in when I did. Your guest before me, her voice definitely helped.
Well, good. I know you've got a lot of stuff coming at you all the time. You've got people out there that literally, when I say literally want to kill you, you have people out there that want to have you no longer here, and that's not an exaggeration. So, every once in a while, things like that just have to wear on you. We're tough characters. You're a tough cookie. But, we're human beings, too. There's only so much fight you can do when you fight the fight, right?
That is very true, yes. There's so much you can do, or there's so much you can take before you just ask the question of, where is everybody?
We can get into that, but before we do, share with the audience a little bit who you are and what you're doing, and then we'll get into some specifics. But more people need to know about who you are and the amazing things that you're fighting for out there.
Well, thank you. To give you a quick version, I was born and raised in Islamic Republic of Iran. You might call it Iran. And on top of the country being Islamic, I was born in 1983. If you're familiar with the history of Middle East, in 1979, Iran was invaded by an Islamic leader and turned into an Islamic country. So I was born after that into a completely Sharia constitution ruling the country. And then on top of that, lucky me, my family was fairly religious as well, and my father himself was a sheikh, which is an Islamic leader who can make rulings, and, it's hold in a very high standard of Islamic societies. So I was born into that. Pretty much followed the rules and regulations until I started having questions about what I was told, and those questions turned into disaster. I wasn't allowed to ask them, but I kept asking them, and then I kept breaking the law and the rules, and ended up being arrested, putting in prison. I was lashed by law enforcement and my own father as well, beat up. And pretty much by the time I was 13, I normally say close to my 14 because I was very close to my 14. Not that it makes a huge difference. My father just went ahead and decided I'm too much of a shame-bringing daughter into the family. So he sold me to a man who was willing to pay what he thought was my price. And just to be clear, this wasn't just my father being this horrible man. This is everything that has happened to me is within Quran and Sharia allowed to happen. But this one specifically was on chapter 4, verse 3 of the Quran, that if my male guardian agrees to the price that is fair for me, then, the man shall have me. And the price he picked was, a month of opium for his own use, and also $50 American dollars.
Oh, my God.
And that was it. I became his wife. Went through the whole 9 yards of being a wife. The guy wasn't really, this is so weird to try to explain to, Western audience, but at that point you are a wife. You are a wife, so you do your wife duties, either you like it or not. And if I didn't like it, I would get beat up by him. And if I would ask my father, because he was the only one who could get me a divorce, he would just tell me to obey him. So get back to your house and just obey and do whatever he says, so he doesn't have to beat you and make you a, obeying wife. Long story short, my grandmother, rest in peace, wise woman who grew up in the life before the Islamic life of Iran, decided enough is enough. And she managed to hire smugglers to snatch me, get me through the border into the country, Turkey. And I went to United Nations, seeked asylum, went through proper channels, and finally made my way with the I-95 visa and a welcome to the United States of America paperwork in August 8, 2002. And the rest is just mainly good.
Wow. I heard parts of the story. I never heard it that descriptive, but I'm glad you shared it because, as you said, this is it's written in the Quran. Like that's kind of like the protocol, like the handbook on what you're supposed to do in that religion. And it's from all the people that I've paid attention to that do talk about this, and there's not a lot, right? Because I don't think it's very popular, especially since our elected elite seem to celebrate Islam and celebrate this very violent religion and Sharia, right? They want that here, which is what we're going to talk about today. Kind of crazy. It's a good reality check, but what I mentioned in the intro was about the Afghan refugees coming here. And then there's been lots of violence. You don't hear about it as they've come here. A lot of them are military age men, MAMs, right? That's what it's officially called, 18 to say 29. But you warn people, kind of, and you give them updates when all that was happening when they first started coming here. So, but it's been happening for a long time, like Minnesota and Omar and Ilhan and all these people. You want to go into detail about that, since this is your niche, my dear.
Of course. Well, as far as Islamization, well, let's first establish this. I need everyone who's listening, I need you to realize, first and foremost, I am not an anti-Muslim activist. Let's get that clear. I am an anti-Sharia activist. There's a huge difference. So let's put this out there. I have no problem with people. I have a problem with a cult that is the deadliest cult I have ever seen in my life. That is including Marxism and communism. On that note, Islam has this really interesting concept, which is the day of peace will not arrive until every human, every breathing human, is a Muhammadian, aka a Muslim, a person who believes in Muhammad as messenger of Allah and Allah as the only God, as the day of peace will arrive that day. On that note, every Muslim's mission shall be convert all people to Islam, and those who will not convert shall be killed. Oh. Again, everything I'm telling you right now can be found in the Quran, in the Hadith, in the Surah, which makes Sharia. So on that note, it is very naive of anyone to think that Islam is not a threat to our freedom and liberty, because nowhere in our Constitution does it say anybody has to be anything specific. You are free to be whomever you like to be, as long as you're not harming yourself or other people. This is the biggest contradiction, that when I say Islam cannot coexist with our Constitution in America specifically, this is my reason. Because under Sharia, you're either a Muslim or you're dead. Period. End of a story. No argue, no negotiation. There's nothing left to do. For anyone who has heard people like Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Keith Allison, Linda Sarsour, and the rest of them saying, in Quran, it says there's no compulsion in religion. In Quran, it says if you kill a man, it's like you killed all men. In Quran, it says Christians and Jews are friends. Let me make all of that clear for you. In Quran, it says if you kill a man, it's like you killed all men. That verse starts with, O Bani Israel. That verse was for people of Israel, not Muslims. The following verse after that verse says, unless you are killing the man in revenge for killing your Muslim brother. Bam, right there.
Oh.
Yes. The part that says there's no compulsion in Islam, in religion, if you continue reading that verse, it also goes to say, we have sent you the perfected religion, Islam, the perfected book, Quran, and the perfect example of a man, Muhammad, as your prophet, and if you do not believe or question a single verse of Quran, you shall be killed. That's for that verse. And then where it says, Christians and Jews. If you open the Quran, chapter 5, verse 51, it says, O you who have believed Muslims, do not take Christians and Jews as your allies, as they are each other's allies. And if you take them as your allies, you are a non-believer. Would you like me to go on, or is that enough evidence?
Oh, no, that's, here's the thing. It's these radical, if you want to call it left, I don't care. These radical people that are in, the elected elite positions, or even the ones that are the organizations, CARES, and, that CARES. It's usually, again, with the names. The name is the opposite of what the organization does. The name of the bill is opposite of what's actually in it, right? So the CARES group, the pro-Sharia group, the nonprofit organization, there's nothing there about caring, okay? It's always everything that they're trying to they portray out there is literally opposite of what you just said, because they want to deceive, right? They want to get here, they want to get in positions, because then they want literally to bring Sharia here. Because I've seen a couple shows where they've mentioned this, and they've done interviews, they've done polls, or let's loosely call it a poll. when they asked them, they were Islamic, right? And they said, do you want Sharia here in the U.S.? And like every single one of them said, well, hell yeah, that's what we want. That's what we're trying to do. And meanwhile, us stupid Americans are just, going off, taking photos of what we had for lunch, sticking it on Facebook, going to day to day, taking the kids to soccer practice, doing whatever. And literally these other people are infiltrating because and lying in misrepresenting and deceiving. And then of course they love communism, Marxism, and all that fun stuff. So continue from there. We need to wake up. This is much deeper than just a bunch of people that are even in Congress or running these organizations. I mean, it's almost like an example of a rock, right? And you're like, that's an interesting rock. And you pick up the rock, and there's literally millions of insects underneath doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And that's what I'm comparing this to. Right?
That's correct. That's definitely correct. The thing is, when it comes to Islam, in any shape or form, no matter how you explain it, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you read it, Sharia and Islam is a global movement. They call it global caliphate, meaning, as I said, the entire world is under one flag, which is the Sharia flag, the Islamic flag. Now, are there some people, I call them self-proclaimed Muslims, that I have met them, I have had discussions with them, and then about a week later they became ex-Muslims because I got them to read the Quran, and they're like, oh yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with this. But then I can't reach every single one of them. But a lot of them, for example, let's go to my motherland real quick, Iran. The population is about 81 million people. And I can literally guarantee you that about 65 million out of 81 million absolutely do not want to have anything to do with Islam. However, they come out of their houses following and obeying Islam because they don't want to be killed. Because in Islam, as an ex-Muslim, for example, one of the bounties I have on my head, one of the judgments I have from the government of Iran is the fact that I'm an ex-Muslim. And then I have been saved by our Savior, and I'm a Christian now. That on its own has earned me an execution order. I shall be captured, taken back to Iran to stand by the thing so they can hang me. My execution is by hanging on that topic.
Wow.
I have other judgments that I have already been found guilty, but this one is specifically just being an ex-Muslim and publicly being an ex-Muslim and denouncing and becoming a Christian was enough for me to be, found guilty. Now, people in Iran, you ask them, you're a Muslim? Yeah. I mean, they don't want to die. So you put, what did I just say, 65 million. Now go to Pakistan, go to Afghanistan, go to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the entire 50 countries that are under strict Islamic laws. You put all of that, when you hear the 1.2 billion Muslim number, I want you to know that's a lie. That 65 million I just told you is include that 1.2 billion. So there is no such a thing as Islam is the fastest growing religion. There are 1.2 billion Muslims. That is all a myth. That is the forced information. When I was born, guess what? I was scammed a Muslim. And then when I turned 9, I was forced to take the Shahada and convert into a fully adult Muslim woman. At age 9, you become an adult woman under Sharia.
Oh my God! It's like
yes, ma'am.
It's like child rape. It's like it's beyond pedophilia. I mean, it is just it's violent.
That's why
a lot of
Muslims
get not cool.
A lot of Muslims get mad at me. They're like, "Hey, you want to talk about Islam? Do it, but why do you have to mock our prophet?" I'm like, because your prophet is the prophet without a prophecy who is a pedophile.
Yeah.
We need to call it what it is.
Yeah.
Muhammad was a pedophile. He had 11 wives, and his most favorite wife was Aisha, who was 6 years old when he married her, and she was 9 when he consummated, quote unquote, raped her into her full wife. And since then, I had to become a full adult woman at age 9 because he decided to rape Aisha at age 9. automatically became the entire rule of Islam, that at age 9, you're an adult woman. And guess what? It's not just that you get raped. It's the fact that you are responsible for your actions. When I was singing out loud on the street accidentally, I love singing, and I have a very loud voice, very high volume of singing voice. I got arrested and I was punished. I was a child. But no, because Muhammad had a wife who was 6 and then 9 and all that, I had to be punished for singing because I was responsible for my actions as a teenager. Wow. So yes, it's way deeper than most people hear about. This isn't just about a bunch of people who want to blow us up. This isn't just about a bunch of people who want to use our own planes, turn them into weapons, and kill 3,000 innocent people in one day. That's way more. There's this within our government. They are committing what's known as political jihad. Within our society, they are committing what's known as civilization jihad. They have normalized their bad behavior to an extent where me and you are aware, but majority of Americans just look away and walk away.
You hit it right on the head. You said normalize. So they're normalizing these things. They're conditioning us, like you just mentioned. They're talking about the fastest rising religion and the most population. No, they do that. They set the narrative first. There's no facts to back it up, and it's not true. And then they condition people so that when all of a sudden they match up, fake facts or whatever. So they do it with the polling and the elections, the same thing. So you realize it's the same people do it with just a different another agenda, but it's the same pattern because these are all tactics of, like the art of war and the science of propaganda. And these are all like systematic ways in order to brainwash people and condition them, just like the whole COVID rollout and how they've done that. These are war tactics, CIA ops versions. So like they'll tell you, Arizona, because I'm here in Mayor Corruption County, and they say, the state's a little purple. It's turning. It's looking like it's getting a little bit more liberal. It's turning blue. We're getting there. So then when all of a sudden they go ahead and quote unquote fix the election to then have the Biden Nazi regime win, then it made sense, right? So that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing with this Islam thing. They're trying to make it. That's why the squad people, they're so loud. Nobody does anything about it. So again, you're pointing out that there's a bigger, deeper layer of an agenda than just taking down a building 20 years ago.
Exactly. The whole process. Now, I will suggest a book. This book was written by Dr. Jamie Glazov, was published in 2009, way ahead of itself. But purchase this book and read it, word by word, and reread it. I have read the book 3 times myself. Oh, wow. It's called United in Hate. United in Hate. This is the book where, as I said, in 2009, Dr. Jamie Glazov makes the connection, which we know as red-green axis today. Mm-hmm. The fact that the left hate toward America is so strong that they will not hesitate to use any tactic possible to burn down America as we know it and build their deluded utopia on the ashes left behind. Now, if you look at it, the best possible tool for the left to destroy America is Sharia, because it goes against everything we stand for, everything. First Amendment, Second Amendment, the entire Constitution, our values. Islam goes against all of it. So bring it in, let it infiltrate, and then normalize it. When September 11 happened, the entire country was shaken. I wasn't here yet, but I saw how everyone came together as one. And a lot of people are still waiting for the second September 11. When I tell them it already happened, the second September 11 happened. That was the day Hussein Obama was elected. The third September 11 happened. It was the day Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar were elected. Yeah. An infiltration, a jihad, an attack is an attack. It doesn't have to burn buildings down. Now, they use that as an opening for infiltration. Think about it this way. They burned down our city. We all came together as one. And the first thing everybody heard was what? Bush running, saying, I want to guarantee you this had nothing to do with Islam, and Islam is a religion of peace. And the door opened. Islamophobia was created. The word Islamophobia was created. Then poor Muslim community was created. Before you know it, 20 years later, we have Muslims. We have Muslim Brotherhood members walking down our Congress, and we're all sitting here thinking, so maybe they're moderate. No, they're not. Mm-hmm. There is, in Quran itself, it says, there's a verse where it says, and when there are asked, they will say, we are not but reformers, but they are the corrupt. Allah was apparently way ahead of this. In Quran, it already says there will be people who will be moderate and reformers, and we do not consider them Muslims, and they will still burn in hell, and you shall kill them. We are dealing with an ideology that hates everything we stand for.
And they're there for the long run. They're not there for like us, our 8 to 9 second attention span as Americans. They're there for the long haul because they got nothing else to do than just do what they keep in motion, and then it'll all fall into place. Scary, scary stuff. Annie's got a show. Annie writes multiple articles for various publications. She's going to be back on. I think we're going to try to get her back on in maybe in November. If not, then definitely in December, because you guys need to hear this more often. You need to get to know her. So plug your website and your show, my friend.
Absolutely. My website is liveuptofreedom.com. Liveuptofreedom.com. And that's not just my website. I really encourage all my fellow Americans to do that. Live up to your freedoms. They are God-given freedoms. Don't let them go. Stand up every morning and practice your God-given rights. So liveuptofreedom.com. And basically, you can find everything in there. But if you want to find me on YouTube, you can look up ACU News, Annie Cyrus Unfiltered, ACU News, and you can find me under that ID on YouTube.
And we're going to add her YouTube channel to our must-listen to page, so that way you can find her easily. And, of course, she's going to be on our must-follow and join. She's somebody who's out in the fight, so you need to join her and pay attention. And like she said, live up to your freedom every day. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, my friend Annie Cyrus. You are a strong lady. You are a warrior. You're a freedom fighter. I love it. Oppression crushing is what you are. So thank you so much. Keep up the great work, and I'm glad that you're feeling better.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the time, and I cannot wait to talk to you soon again.
Oh, and you and I will chat off the air this week. I will give you a call. I'll stalk you lightly. Don't worry about that. It'll be lightly stalking. Friendly stalking.
I like that.
I'll talk to you later.
Be safe.
Oh, what a great woman. What a great woman. Yeah, they're literally, she has people that want to kill her. Yeah. So how would you like that? How would you like to wake up in the morning knowing that there are people out there that want to kill you? Well, you know what? And she has faith in God that that's not going to happen. And, she's, but at the end, sometimes, like she said, there's some days where you just go, wow, there's a lot coming at me. Speaking of coming at you, right? Coming at you. My next guest. These are pretty cool peeps. My next guests are Sherry and Tony McKnight. I see Sherry's in the queue. We'll see if Tony pops in, but that's okay. Us ladies can take care of all of that needs to be discussed. We don't need no boys. We don't need no stinking men, right? We can take care of this ourselves, ladies. That's what we have to do. That's what women are doing. Especially women are the ones who are leading the freedom movement. Like that mama bears they're talking about, the moms that are going to all the school boards, the moms that are taking care of the ladies when the men are just, whatever that they do. That's all right. So Sherry and Tony McKnight, they're the founders of Big Daddy Unlimited, an online gun retailer with a membership-based platform and a members first, America First business mantra, probably why, as I said earlier, they're so successful. The VIPs have access to the largest selection of in-stock products, industry-leading prices, and customer service from the good old days. Remember when you talked with somebody on the phone, they'd actually answer and they would help you as opposed to a bot chat? Well, the This is a great slogan that I think is very appropriate for this time of the world we're living in. With guns, we are citizens. Without, we are subjects. And don't forget the Second Amendment wasn't designed so you can do a little hunting of a deer. It was designed to fight against a tyrannical government. Keep that in mind, people. That's what it was there for. Big Daddy Unlimited is growing, hiring. Yes, hiring, and you don't have to get the non-vaccine, peeps. And they aim to be the premier online destination for all of your Second Amendment needs and then some. These people are great supporters of the community. Big round of applause for a freedom-fighting, gun-slinging, proud pair of passionate patriots. Sherry McKnight, how are you today, my dear? Oh, hold on a second. Sherry McKnight.
Wait, am I on?
Wait, hold on. There we go. All right, we are good. Technical difficulties,
Hi,
why?
Michelle. How are you? This is Sherry McKnight.
Hi, Sherry McKnight. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty. It's just because we were talking about freedom. We were talking about Second Amendment. We were talking about God. And, whenever that happens, something goes squirrely, ironically, with technology.
Well, no worries. I heard your great intro. Thank you so much. That was really great. But I do want to let you also know I've got Tony McKnight, Big Daddy, on the phone with us as well.
I'm sitting right here. I know this is a girls-only club, but I decided to jump on in.
I just give men a hard time, because I want to make sure that us ladies really step up to the plate and start doing the things we need to be doing together. And then I just saw the one number in the queue. So, of course, you are welcome, my friend, on the platform. Boys are allowed, especially big daddies. Big daddies. So tell us a little bit about you guys and this amazing company that you've built. My full disclosure, my roommate is a big gun guy. Okay, big gun guy, like huge. And he's a member of your company for quite a few years. So when I told him, I was like, really? I know those guys. I've been a member for a long, long time. So we're connected.
Well, that's really interesting. What's exciting is the number of people that we actually get to talk to that are members of Big Daddy Unlimited. So we're running into people all over the place in lots of different states that are already members of Big Daddy Unlimited. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, more and more every day as we get the word out about what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Well, and, I hate to keep talking about real things on this platform and kind of giving people a reality check. The past year, gun sales through the roof for good reason. And I turn on the television for 5 minutes. You're like, whoa, I better go get something to protect myself. And I have a whole new respect for people that have been protecting themselves for years. It's nice to see that the American people are kind of cluing in and waking up because it is important. The reason why Australia is Australia now is because they didn't have companies like you guys out there,
Well, let me just interject the fact that, like today, as we've seen, last year, how many new gun owners, came into the fray and started exercising their Second Amendment rights. Tony and I weren't always gun people either. We weren't out there. We don't have a background in the gun industry, and that wasn't, what got us fired up to start Big Daddy Unlimited. But in relation to the various things that we've seen here happening over the last now year and a half, with COVID and then all of the social unrest, what we found is people weren't feeling safe anymore. And they went out and let people like us in the gun industry know. We had to keep up with that demand. But what was interesting was seeing how many first-time home buyers. That's the part about me being a mortgage broker for 20 years prior to being in this.
I did the same thing. It's a tough thing to transition from, the language. So I agree with you.
It really is. So saying first-time gun buyers, 40% of them being women, was something I could really relate to, because not feeling safe or not feeling like you are able to protect your children and things like that really makes it very keen that you have to do something to do that. And we were experiencing a lot of unrest and a lot of fear over the last year.
Well, and the powers that be, the people that don't like the Second Amendment, they don't like freedom, they've always put a bad rap onto gun owners, right? Because they want to set that narrative, which we were talking about before. They set the narrative, the facts don't support it, so that way they can condition people So then all of a sudden NRA is bad. You've got 300 million guns just loose on the streets, and they got these crazy freedom fighting rednecks with their guns and their Bibles. But that's not the case at all. You're talking about normal people. Probably a lot of moms, like you mentioned, 40% women, just because they weren't feeling safe. And there's nothing. That's what you're supposed to do, right? We're just, thank God it's kind of going back on, the train's getting back on the track when it comes to how we are viewing gun ownership in general.
Well, it is a right that we have, whether we are choosing to exercise it or not. But the people who do choose to exercise their Second Amendment rights, they're regular, everyday Americans. They're moms. They're, all kinds of people that have this right. And just because we choose to exercise it doesn't make us different than anyone else. What we want to do is make sure that, we are able to get out there and let people know that there's a lot of positivity to being able to protect and defend ourselves.
Yeah, you got some personal responsibility. God forbid we have that discussion, or we actually are able to, exist on our own without any dependence, right? Because just because you dialed 911, especially in a lot of cities now, they're saying, well, sorry, we're defunding the police, and you're going to call 911 and no one's going to come because we don't have anybody here. It's just me on the phone. So you're just going, oh, this is not good, people. I want to talk obviously more about some of the specific things that you guys are doing in the community. I think that's really important. I think that's great that you guys are there for more than just selling products. You're there for education, and you're there to empower, really, when it comes to it. I hate to use the word empower. It's kind of cliche-ish, but you know what I mean. Tell us a little bit how you started this company, how long ago, and the fact that you're now growing to physical locations as opposed to just online.
Well, actually, that's kind of how we got into the industry. Was when Sandy Hook happened back in 2012. We weren't gun people, and we weren't concerned about losing a Second Amendment right. And actually, Sherry came running in at one point and said, oh, my gosh, they're talking about taking away the guns. We're not going to be able to own them. And I said, well, maybe we should go buy one. And so we took our concealed weapons class on December 31st of 2012. And then in January 2013, we went to every gun show that we could find. We dragged our kids along with us. And then at the end of the month, ended up with 19 guns. And then me being me, which is a serial entrepreneur, I said, I wonder if we got a license, if we could get these things cheaper. And so one thing led to another. And I turned around to Sherry one day and said, you think we should start getting into the gun business? And she looked at me like I was crazy because she said, well, we don't know anything about guns. And I said, well, how hard could it be? It's just another widget, and we're good at selling widgets. And we got passionate about guns because they were interesting, and we looked at it like it's just another tool, and there was a need. And the need that we saw was, as first-time gun owners, you kind of got treated not so nice within that industry. And so we come from a background where customer service is key. And we said, we could probably do a better job of that. And so we started on this journey in the firearms industry and started out of our garage selling guns out of our house to friends of ours to basically empower people like us, because one of the things we learned is what a lot of these first-time gun buyers in the last year have learned is you're your own first responder. The police usually show up after the fact, and then it's too late. And so we got into it, and we started investigating the industry, and we started out actually with one gun shop in town, kind of as a side thought, because some players in the industry said, well, we won't sell to you because you're an internet person. And so we actually started a brick and mortar store, even though we didn't really know anything about traditional retail. And Big Daddy Unlimited, we started in March of 2018 as an offshoot of another business that we had, because we said, well, how can we empower a whole bunch of other people to do what we wanted to do, which was basically get what they wanted at a price that they could live with. And so we came up with the concept of Big Daddy Unlimited, which is hundreds of thousands of products delivered direct to you at really great prices. And we borrowed some ideas from other industries and other models and put it together and said, hey, we can make this work.
Well, innovation, right? Leave it up to somebody who believes in the Constitution and our amendments and our rights to come up with something that's a little outside of the box but becomes successful, who wants to save people money. What amazing. Obviously people aren't, you've never been in office for government because you don't think that way.
That's very true.
So is there some specific products that you want to discuss with everybody, kind of some new things that are really exciting in addition to opening up these new stores and just the overall platform and the benefits because of this membership model and the fact that the pricing is pretty unbelievable?
Well, the first thing that I would like to say about, our membership model and how it works is that Big Daddy Unlimited, the one thing that we really love focusing on is members. So I came up with a couple of what I call there are mottos, but around here it's kind of like hashtag, you've mentioned it, members first. And what that really means, a Big Daddy Unlimited, there is a membership fee every month that people will pay. But what do you expect to get from that? Originally when we first started, it was really about the great pricing. It was industry leading pricing. You would save, some money to a whole lot of money, depending on what it is you were buying. But recently, we've been able to add to our membership program, so we're able to benefits and actually give back with our new program, which is called Big Daddy Bucks, which is basically more money in your pocket, for shopping with us to help build loyalty to us. But what was really important to me, like Tony said, we are people who have been in the network marketing industry for decades. We're people who really put people first. And so, we want to give that back. So what differentiates, a place that you can shop at where there is no fee and one where there is a monthly membership fee? We wanted to give everybody the VIP service that I felt that they deserved. And when you call into a place, like you said, is somebody going to answer? How many times are they going to transfer you? How many times are they going to make you say the same story over and over and over until you get to that one person who can finally help you? So basically, out in the world, if you've ever called a company and been disappointed, discouraged, or annoyed about how their customer service program works, our mission is to make sure that doesn't happen here when you call in at Big Daddy Unlimited. So I've trained an entire staff to be what I call relatable and relational. So we get a lot of members who are calling in and they want to shop with Paul or they want to go to Emily. They know who is working here. They know who is, able to help them find what they're looking for. And a lot of times, we bird dog. We call it bird dogging. You may not be able to find something online, so call us up and we'll bird dog it for you. And if we don't have it, we'll find out if we can get it for you. That's part of the VIP service that I think really sets us apart from other companies.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that you used the word bird dogging. I've been using that for years. Whenever I hear someone say that, I'm like, oh, a new friend. They totally get what I'm picking up and they're putting down. So that's brilliant. That's actually an amazing service, especially with, the gun, freedom, God, everything that's discussed on this show. We're all censored, right? So if people are trying to search for certain things, right, they're on the Google or even the DuckDuckGo. I mean, it's hard to find a lot of things because it's purposely hidden from all of us, right? So if you've got some little tricks and you've got bird dogs out there that can help people find some of the products that they're looking for, that's worth the membership fee right there. Because look how much time you didn't spend going down these rabbit holes of literally not even coming out close with any success. That's amazing.
Well, that's one of the things that I feel, that is really important. When we're looking for something, we don't want to waste a lot of time. So, leverage our team here, and that's how we're able to help you find. You might not be able to find it on the site, or you're just having a hard time locating something that is, more rare or whatever. So that's one of the things. And another thing is, we have another philosophy here that I really, really love, and it's first started in customer service, and now I've kind of taught it throughout the whole entire company, and that is we love to work with a spirit of excellence around here. So the spirit of excellence, like I always tell Tony, if we have everybody operating in what I call the spirit of excellence, there's really nothing that we can't do as a team, and it's part of the reason why we do continue to grow so fast.
You guys are married. You sound like you get along, that you like each other. That's probably part of why you're so successful.
Yeah, we definitely do. We work together always.
We share an office, too.
We share
like
an office.
Literally an office.
Yeah, we share an office. We do our work together. In fact, we're better together than apart. So when we moved to our very large new headquarters that we've been here about a month, the biggest thing was, where are we going to be? Tony, we're going to have to knock down a wall. There's no way we can't, be in the same office together. So it's just, this is truly a family-oriented business. So we still see ourselves as mom and pop, even though we've grown, past the original Big Daddy Guns in Gainesville, which kind of was I would say kind of the heartbeat of what we were doing here. It started out as our desire to help our friends and people exercise their Second Amendment rights at prices they could live with. I mean, that's literally what we wanted to do. And now it's grown to where we've currently opened up 3 stores. We have several more in the works. And we've got a big vision for adding the whole retail model to what we're doing online as well. So we just want to keep serving people. We want to keep, breaking down barriers. We want to keep disrupting the marketplace. We, want to keep adding to.
Exactly.
Well, there's nothing wrong with growth. That's always good, because people just usually don't buy one gun, and then you need, ammo, right? Because you use it. It's like a perishable good. You need to restock it, and then you've got all these other cool things that people. Literally, stuff shows up at this house all the time. I'm like, oh, another package. God only knows what that's going to get attached to. And you're just like, what is next? What's going into that collection? So, and that's like I said, growth is a good thing in this type of an industry. And I love to see that you guys are being successful, because it's more than just a gun, right? This is like fundamental. This is what the country is based on. Your business is much bigger than just the products. Do you want to share something about that? Because I think it embodies it. Like I said, it's your mantra is America first, member first, but it really is. It's bigger than that. It's like Constitution and rights and human beings.
Well, that's exactly what matters so much to us, and what sort of propels us is our unwavering desire to protect and defend the First and Second Amendments. So in addition to Big Daddy Unlimited, we've sort of built out. I kind of like to think of it as I take the palm of my hand, and that's Big Daddy Unlimited, and then it's all the offshoots of Big Daddy Unlimited that we're creating around it. And so we've taken some strides to actually help protect and defend our First Amendment rights. So I'm going to let Tony share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so last year when Parler was deplatformed by some people within the tech hegemony out there, we took that as a warning sign and said, hey, you know what? If we're going to do this, we need to basically build something that nobody can ever turn off. And so we've invested very heavily into technology, and one of those platforms that we've invested in is our own streaming media platform. Primarily, we started it to protect our content, because we're always under fire from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and all the other social Goliaths that are out there, and we wanted to be able to always showcase our content, and so we built a streaming media platform that we call excluded.com.
With an X.
With an X.
Excluded. So if you've ever been excluded, this is for you.
And it started out as a home for our content, and it's been built into a home for original premium content, and also for people who are like-minded like us, not only influencers within the firearms industry and within that genre, but also conservative politics, conservative talk, comedy, things of that nature. And so it's growing in and of itself.
Oh, that's wonderful. So just so you're aware, on right now, I cannot stream to YouTube, can't post on there. It says this channel is not in good standing. I'm looking at the note. And then, of course, Facebook, I'm against community standards in every single way. I can't put any of my websites. Yeah, can't put any of my websites on Facebook. Can't put them on Instagram. And I got kicked off a Linktree because a year after having all of my links listed on there. Apparently, something must have just hit the COVID facts tab. They didn't like that, even though it was up there for a year. So I get the censorship thing. They take down certain episodes of Spotify, like they don't like when I put on Dr. Pam Popper or Dr. Alan Keyes, or when I had Dr. Christiane Northrup. They send that little, sorry, your misinformation is. We're gonna have to take that down. So yes, I am. I would love to be part of Excluded, since I am excluded from all of these.
Yep,
evil.
you're the perfect target demographic.
Satan's platform is what YouTube and Facebook have evolved into. Satan's platform.
There is no doubt. And in that same vein, we've partnered with an awful lot of companies who do understand that there's an awful lot of censorship going on. And, just to talk again about Parler, the most fascinating thing about that, what happened to Parler, is that not only did Amazon jump the shark and decide to get rid of them, but Google and Microsoft and GoDaddy and a number of other giants within the industry all took part in it. And for all intents and purposes, nobody said anything. And to me, that said, hey, nothing's safe, nothing's sacred. We are in a fight for our constitutional rights. And so, our whole attitude was, look, we're going to build something that nobody can turn off. And we're going to be our own utility and our own provider to continue to do those things that we believe in, and basically build a community that others can join in.
Well, and for people that are listening, these alternative platforms like excluded.com, you need to go check them out. And yes, they might not have, hundreds of millions of people that are there, but then again, I've got 5,000 friends on my Facebook page, right? I probably know about 10 of them, right? But I've got 5,000 friends. So when I post, because you're being shadow banned, right? And instead of just, and obviously I can't put any of my websites up there, and our whole platform is websites and website pages, so that kind of puts a little cramp in letting people know about all this incredible information that we have on here. And so then when I do a post, it tells me, it says, oh, there was like 30 people that saw your post. I said, well, 30 people. There was 5,000. So keep in mind, they control who sees what. And if they don't want you to have your information out there, they just won't share it. So you can share every day. You can try to use all these little techniques. But if people aren't seeing it, then why waste the time? But if you go into a community, like with these guys on excluded.com, where the audience is not limited, but then the audience is actually like-minded, go spend your time over there, and you'll end up having a hell of a lot more than the, 30 people that got a chance to see mine when there should have been thousands. See what I mean? So we need to reposition our reality, everybody, about where we're spending our time. We don't want to feed the beast, right? We want to make sure we put our resources into like-minded people that are supporting the things that we all support in, because then they're going to reciprocate. So then all of a sudden, there's that exchange. So I'm impressed, and I'm glad that you guys have taken the time and invested into another alternative platform, because it's needed. And if we all kind of transition together from these evil Satan's platforms to ones that actually like our content, we can move together quickly. You know what I mean? We've got to stick together. It's unity.
Well, if your listeners want to go to their app store, they can download our Excluded app, and it's pretty much on it's on every streaming platform: Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple, Google Play. And we're basically curating content, so loading it up with, like I said, it's gun industry stuff. It's we've got other people on there, rated, like influencers such as. It's rated mature. You got to be 18 and up to watch it. But there's other people on there that are heavily censored, such as, Roger Stone, yes, Hodge Twins. We're going to keep helping those that are being censored. If you're being shut down, if you're being excluded, if you're being shadow banned, if you're being, treated without the fairness that certain types of, let's call them freedom-loving Americans, if basically you're a freedom-loving American, you're probably getting excluded. So we're trying to build something that we can all, join together and, basically enjoy our freedom and watch what we want to watch and listen to whom we want to listen to and shop where we want to shop.
Yeah, that's the power that we, the people, have. We have our buying decisions. And where our money sits, like what bank is your money just sitting there? Is it Bank of America? No, not so smart, peeps. Are you just spending all your money at the big box? Not smart there either. So that's what we can control. Obviously, we know that when we vote, that doesn't seem to matter anymore, right? We've already figured that one out. And then we think that all of a sudden we have something called the Constitution. Nobody seems to care about that. So we need to take back a little bit more control. Our personal responsibility is to be smart about where we spend our money, where we spend our time, where we put our information. So why not be excluded? Yeah, I love it. I love that you guys are doing that. All right, it's 2:02. I know I said I would drag you on the show for about a half an hour. Anything else you want to share? You want to promote? Do you need to get off your chest? Do you want to give something as an incentive, a little tip for people? What do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to let your listeners know about something that is going to launch. It's our next iteration of, Tony and I wanting to give back and, do more things for, more freedom-loving Americans. And this time it's called American Gun Coalition. And what we want to do there is sort of change the narrative about gun ownership. You can tune in anywhere or read any article and you can find out what they think about gun owners. But we want to be able to change the culture and let people really know what it means to exercise their Second Amendment rights, and to even educate people who don't even understand what the Second Amendment actually is, why we have it, why our founding fathers were, so ahead of their time to even think that this would be something that we would need. I mean, they went off and, picked up arms to fight for their freedom back then, and then they came and created a constitution and gave us our Second Amendment rights. But, with the Second Amendment, it's the great equalizer for all of us, for women especially. There's an obvious difference in size and, strength of men and women. This is really a great equalizer. But what we really want to do, and something that I really love doing and did, very successfully when I was working grassroots for many, many, many years here in my own county and state, is we want to do three things: educate, motivate, and activate. We really want to get people educated, not only from what is the Second Amendment and why it's their right and why it's, a great opportunity to get out there and, protect and defend yourself, but also classes, getting some classes. That's the first thing Tony and I did. We went out and we got our concealed weapons permit. Then we went to our local gun range here and we started taking classes. We were taking, this is what we were doing on the weekends. Our kids were with us. We were just learning. So I really feel like be on the lookout for what we have coming. It'll be called the American Gun Coalition. And really, we want to be able to put the facts out there, and we want to be able to give people the information that they need to fight back against the narrative, the propaganda, and the lies.
Well, and I want to second that motion, but I also want to help you out here and kind of be a little testimonial. So my brothers have had concealed weapons permits for 25, 30 years, whatever. It's a very, very long time. So I've been around that for just that long period of time. Roommates, tons of guns, goes to shooting, does the practice thing every weekend, goes out to Cowtown. I don't know if you guys have heard of Cowtown. It's out here in Arizona. It's long range and short range, but I mean long range meaning like crazy ass long range. So he's been telling me, Michelle, you got to come with me. And I'm just, no, I'm busy. I'm working. Like most people like this, they're not putting it into perspective or anything like that. And this is why I'm promoting this, the American Gun Coalition, and why I have a feeling it's more people are going to jump on the bandwagon. So I caved in one day and I said, all right, I'll go. All right, I'll go. So he, and I'm going to brag a little bit because this is my claim to fame now. So he sets up the long range, and I don't remember what kind of long range, but long range, obviously it's one. I'm bad with the names of guns. I know the sugar weasel and the honey badger. That's about it. And then he sets it up. First time out, boom, 700 yards. I hit the target. I couldn't even barely see the target, but I hit the target, right? So I was like, okay, I'm into this. And then I was doing the sugar weasel, and I was hitting like the 250 yards. And I'm like, I get it now. I get why people do this. I said, I had no idea. So I'm glad that you guys are doing this more education, but also getting people activated and giving this whole new respect to this. Yes, it's protection, but it's also the sport. I got why it is that people are really into it, and it's not scary. It wasn't scary. We had suppressors on, so obviously it wasn't as loud because I don't like really loud things. But I encourage more women to just give it a try, or even some guys that maybe never even thought about doing something like that, because there's something about it that is not only freeing, but it's, like I said, I hate to use the word empower. I got to come up with another word for empower. But it was awesome just to even be outside, you know what I mean? And get up early and, like, you know, having some conversations and not being at a computer or a desk or any of that. But it was just, you know, the ability to be able to have that freedom to go do this, to go to a place where you can actually, or even we're here in the desert. I mean, you can just go out in the desert, but that you were able to do that. And it was amazing. It was really, really amazing. So, I hope that story relates to some people or encourages them to get involved with your coalition, because I think more people, when they give it a chance, they'll see that it's just more than shooting a gun.
Absolutely. It's fun once you get started. And it, you know, for me, I'm always thinking of the challenge that I provide to myself. Can I hit this target? Can I, you know, so yeah, it's definitely a hobby. It's a sport. Our media host, who does a lot of our Big Daddy Unlimited stuff, he is a regular competitor every single weekend. He was out competing this weekend in a 2-gun competition and came in 3rd. But he is a big-time competitor. He's always out doing steel challenges. You know, we have a culture here at Big Daddy of, you know, people who are really in it. We enjoy what we're doing. We're out. We're competing. Like Denny said, you know, he does something called our Denny's Daily Deals every day. And, you know, he says, I got to keep my street cred up. So, you know, he's always out competing. So he's always on his game. So it's a very fun sport. And we've got, even at our upcoming event called Epic Shoot, which is our annual big event, we've even got some influencers that are coming that are 8 and 10 years old, and they are amazing shots.
Wow. How cool is that? You know, you got to start them, you got to start them young.
You're out there seeing this. I mean, it's amazing.
Wow, that's great. You guys are doing some amazing work. Like you said, it's more than just a product. It's like a lifestyle. And then once you have conversations with people, it's like-minded people, because you're not that Obama said those crazy people who cling to their guns and their Bibles. Well, no, that's who we are. You know, we are clinging to the guns and the Bibles because that's all we got. We can't rely on anything else.
That's right.
Wow. Well, you guys are, I mean, I would love for you to come back on and share some stories and obviously promote the company and the movement. I'd love to be a part of the movement. I'm kind of a good testimonial as if you give it a try, look what would happen. I'm a good test case with a loud mouth.
Well, that is, yeah, Tony and I also, we've enjoyed the opportunity to be a part of your show today. And we just want to thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit. And it's great to listen to someone who is like-minded with us too. Like I said, it's freedom. We love it. We enjoy it. And we want more of it. So, again, thank you for the opportunity to let Tony and I come on and share a little bit more about what we're doing at Big Daddy Unlimited and the American Gun Coalition and beyond.
Yeah, and beyond. And that is right, because there's so much more to do. So we're going to add your guys' information to I'll add your show, Denny's show that he's doing to our platform. We can add that to the must listen to. I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, Denny's Daily Deals.
Denny's Daily Deals. We can add that because that's an actual show. We could talk about getting more involved in excluded.com, and we can add that to our platform too, because we've got brightion.tv on there. And there's no reason why we can't add more, because we want to just make sure that people, when they're wanting good quality content, we want to tell them where to go. So we can add that to the must watch page or the must listen to page. There's a lot of places we can have you guys on the must follow and join. So there's a lot of things that we can do together. So again, give the website or plug social media, whatever you guys want to plug.
Well, our website is BigDaddyUnlimited.com. And Tony,
Big Daddy Unlimited anywhere on social media.
Big Daddy Unlimited, wherever you are visiting in the social verse, find us at Big Daddy Unlimited.
That they haven't kicked you off yet, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. We keep posting until.
Well, hey, we all get excluded every now and then, but we get back up.
Right. It's like that. I always compared it like. Yeah, you remember the clown, the clown that you would punch back in like the 70s, and it would fall down, but then all of a sudden it would just slowly come back up. See, that's us freedom fighters. You can punch us, but then all of a sudden you turn around just when you think the coast is clear. That damn clown slowly pops back up again because you can't get rid of us. We're like gum on the bottom of the shoe, or perhaps you had something with mustard, and 3 days later you're like, there's mustard on my finger. That's 3 days ago. How did it get there? Yeah, it's just you can't get rid of us. We lurk around every corner, but in a good way. I always call it friendly stalking. So, yeah. All right, Sherry and Tony McKnight, two awesome freedom fighters, Big Daddy Unlimited. All right, you guys are going to come back on the show, right? We're going to do that? We're going to be friends?
Absolutely.
Yes. All right, awesome.
Yes,
all right, go enjoy
pleasure.
your day. Yeah, definitely. You guys are fun.
All right.
I'm looking forward to doing some stuff with you. So go enjoy the great freedom state of Florida. And go sell some guns, and let's get this. I want to help with the American Gun Coalition. That would be awesome. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for coming on.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
Have
Thanks,
a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
Oh, what good patriots, right? What did I call them? A proud pair of passionate patriots. That's what we need, more peeps. So again, we're bringing on all of these people together. We whether it's products or services. What's the good thing is about a lot of these people that have successful businesses, they then expand the business from the main, like these guys, right? They had a gun business. Then it's an online business. Then all of a sudden they said, you know what? We've been censored. We're going to protect not only the Second Amendment, we're going to protect the First Amendment. We're going to go ahead and put some money into starting our own streaming media platform. So they've got excluded.com, right? So then they got content. So they're trying to share that, bringing together more of those like-minded people. So of course we need to come together and work with them. And then they're taking it to the next level with another organizing, because they want to educate, motivate, and activate, which is key, right? We talked about it. We got to take the action, everybody. Take action, BLC. Take action, BLC, as in business, life, and community. And then, they're starting the American Gun Coalition, right? So they're going to change the culture of the guns. I gave an example of how my culture changed with the gun, right? And how my story, I went from whatever, gun, went in to, oh my God, I get it. This is pretty cool. Like, I get it now. So, that's what happens. It's just like my pillow. Look at my pillow. It was originally just selling pillows. Then he sold more stuff. Then all of a sudden he gets into, Mike Lindell gets into, fighting against election fraud and bringing all that public. And now he's taking it to the next level and the next level. So when, people are successful, they actually are innovative, right? Then, the ones that get it, that are like-minded. So then they do all these other ancillary opportunities and movements and groups and businesses and things like that, because they all interact. Remember, that's what I was saying, like, the three stools of life, the business, life, and community. Can't just focus on one all the time. You've got to have a little bit of each because it matters, right? So we figured, hey, let's go and get these people on the show. Let's get all of these different groups, these people, these individuals, these entrepreneurs, small business owners, nonprofit organizations, community organizers. Yeah, I guess so. Community leaders, politicians, people running for office, passion-driven people, purpose-driven people. People that are out there doing good, the good people doing good business and good things, and get them all in a room together, right? So what do? It's a virtual room. It's our family room. That's this platform. That's this show. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 12 p.m. Pacific time live. We're going live. 5 guests, 7-minute segments, and then the second hour, because the first hour, the most powerful hour in podcasting, wasn't long enough. So we added a second hour so we can have these longer form interviews like we did with Annie Cyrus today, and then Sherry and Tony McKnight with the Big Daddy Unlimited. So those get you a little bit longer form interviews for more content. And then on Wednesdays, you know what I've been doing because I got to get some work done. It takes a lot to get all this stuff coordinated. And then Wednesdays we're just replaying certain standalones and putting that out there because you need to get that information. It's really, really importante. And then of course, what are we at? 12:16. I'm going to wrap it up. I promise. I've got tons to do, and I'm going to try. I'm going to get the show down to 2 hours. It's just that we were running late a little bit today, and these were new guys, so I wanted to give them a little bit of time. So I apologize for going over. I want to be respectful of your time. You want to get in and out, but let's just say here's the deal. If you're listening to just a regular show, you usually probably have maybe one guest, and that's a half an hour or an hour. But in this show, you've got 7, technically this pair, 8. So you've got 8 guests in a 2-hour time frame. So you got a lot of stuff done. You got a lot of things accomplished. You learned a lot. Took a lot of notes. Remember, pen and paper. Scientifically proven that when you write it down, it absorbs into your brain better. So I always want you to use your pen and paper. Of course, your common sense cap. You want to keep that on your head all day, all night, sleep in it. Encourage your friends to wear their common sense caps too. You can, if you're going to spend 2 hours of your time, rather than just listening to 1 or 2 people, just listen to 8. And you know that these are good people. They're quality content because they're coming on this show. They've kind of passed the smell test. And we encourage them, once they become a partner, right, they come on the show. We want them to come on once a month. That would be awesome. But everybody's busy, so you don't get to see some people for a while because they got stuff going on, and that's cool. Anybody that's listening that wants me on the show, shoot me an email, right? Shoot me an email. Since we're talking gun language, shoot me an email, Michele@passionprojects.org. That's Michele with 1 L at passionprojects.org. Or if you head over to the website, everythinghomeaboutus.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com. I believe it's the very last link on there. It says contact. There's a contact page, and it has all of our contact and links information. My email's on there. My phone number's on there. Email is probably best for right now. And then shoot me an email. Say, hey, Michele, I want to come on the show. I want to be a partner. I want to be part of this movement. I think it's awesome. And then, of course, our Save My Freedom movement. We're going to have Big Daddy Unlimited as part of it, really, because then literally they can have their information listed in one of our subcategories. So that way you can find them easily, and you can go in and you can search these subcategories. I'm telling you, this Cloud Hub platform with their groups and their meetings, I was talking about it earlier, it's really, really amazing, the progress that they've made in the technology. So you don't have to do Zoom. It's like old news, snooze on a Zoom. And we're going to get away from the Facebooks and Instagram. We're going to go over to the alternatives. We're going to do the excluded. We're going to do the GAB, the Cloud Hub. The Getter. I don't even know her. All right, 12:19. Real quick, I just wanted to let you know that we've got some amazing guests coming up over the next month or so. On Friday, Dr. Mike Spalding. I have a special guest that I'm waiting to see if it's going to come on this afterwards. And then Jeff Brain, the founder of Cloud Hub, will be on the following Monday. Ryan Kelly, I'll be on his show this Thursday. Jeff Doherty, I was on his show 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's great. You're going to love him. Alex Newman. And we are going to get on Brigitte Gabriel, who I had the pleasure of interviewing on Friday when I guest hosted America's Unhinged over on BrightHand.tv, which is John Diamond's show, Dr. John Diamond. And oh my goodness, I had Mike Miller, right, my buddy over at Warriors for Ranchers, and then Brigitte Gabriel. Okay, she is the chairman of ActForAmerica.org. As I mentioned on Friday's show, she is the OG, right, the original gangster of the freedom movement. This woman has been doing that organization and fighting for freedom for 20 years. So all the rest of us, decided to jump on the train pretty much, last year, right? Maybe last year sometime when all this insanity, this political propaganda pandemic, the COVID was implemented, and then, of course, the election fraud of 2020. And we decided to really kick it into gear, pick a lane, and do something about it. She's been doing it for 20 years. We're going to work with their organization I'm working on getting her coordinated on the show with her schedule. She's a busy lady. She was telling us she was part of a bill here recently with Jake Hoffman. I think it was Jake Hoffman, one of our elected aides. He's actually a pretty decent guy. I've not talked to him. I haven't had him on the show yet. So yeah, from what I hear, he's good. But then speaking of, and then I will round it back. So she was involved with stuff here locally, here in Maricorruption County, Anarchy, Arizona. That's where I am broadcasting live from today, live from the studio in Maricorruption County. But this weekend, real quick, I left the house on Saturday. There wasn't a ton of masked people, which I was impressed with. But then again, I only went to the our precinct committee man little picnic deal. So, of course, nobody had a mask on there. Why would they? And then I went over to Home Depot. The only people who wore masks were the people working there. So it was a little odd. But it's the grocery stores there. They slap them on. And then remember the weekend before I was at I went to the Best Buy. Oh, the people had them in there too. And then even the Walgreens. Oh, that's when they're wearing them. So don't wear the masks, right? Remember? We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to tell you certain common sense things because it's exhausting. It's exhausting trying to reiterate common sense to people to not wear a mask. It actually hurts your health, makes you sick. And then, of course, don't take the non-vaccine. Don't take a flu shot. You don't think I'm crazy if I'm people are like, oh, you're anti-vax. So no, it's called pro common sense. Real quick, it's 2:23, and I'm going to wrap it up here. We were mentioning language, right? We were talking about language matters. Words matter. Words have meanings. We were talking about this on Friday's show. We were talking about this when I was talking with the Brigitte Gabriel on the Brighteon.tv. Words matter. So, they changed the definition of the word vaccine to meet what their non-vaccine actually does or doesn't do, which is protect you from a virus, okay? So they're changing the definitions of things because they can't change the actual facts. So let's use the right words when it comes to things, right? That's why everything's trans, right? They're transforming definitions, transforming words, not only to confuse you, but really just make a hodgepodge of poop out of it. But anyway, so when people are saying anti-vax, I'm sick of hearing that. I'm sick of hearing the word COVID, okay? Because it's a whole other show. I'm sick of people saying, I have COVID. Well, no, you have the flu or you have a cold, or which really have SARS-CoV-V, right? SARS-CoV-V, which we made that. The Americans, DARPA made that. We made that. It's not a natural virus. And then again, without going down another rabbit hole on a show, they've never isolated the virus for COVID. They've never isolated any virus. Yes. So if you want to dwell on that for a minute, they've never isolated a virus. Okay. So you can learn more about that on my episode with Dr. Lee Merritt, which I'm telling you, that is the mother of all episodes, anything to do with COVID and beyond, and transhumanism and the agenda. And, you can call it the Great Reset, but that's just part of it. Episode 263. It's the standalone version of Dr. Lee Merritt. You listen to that. You share that with your family and friends. And if they're stupid enough to get a non-vaccine or a flu shot or put a mask on or not get a clue as to really what this is all about, there's no hope for them. Just say, hey, dude, I gave it a try. And they're like, I don't believe any of it. Wow. There's only so much we can do. So in bringing it full circle. So, at this point, it's almost like if you're gonna go down that path, all right. But I'm not going to convince you not to because there's too much information. Okay, come on, peeps, right? There's too much information out there. We've done so many shows about it. New stuff comes out all the time. The stuff that Dr. Carrie Madej brought up at the Truth About Cancer conference this weekend about the hydro and the hydra and these things. that there's parasites in the syringe, and these like amoeba-like substances. Some of them, they actually have a mind of their own. They're self-aware. There were some things that she talked about, and it's new information opposed to the other interviews. So I watch her pretty much anytime I can find her somewhere. But anyway, there's only so much that we can give information to people, and they're still gonna do things. They're still not gonna stand up for their own freedoms, or they forgot about my body, my choice. So anyway, can't help them. So the goal is to bring together the people that can. The goal is to bring together the like-minded people, the ones that aren't, the businesses that aren't firing people for taking the non-vaccine or not requiring them to take the non-vaccine, the businesses that are not trying to destroy the country, the people that are standing up for freedom, the ones that are actually active in different groups and organizations. So that way you can do some activist work. You can go out in the community. You can go to a school board meeting and being around like-minded people. So technically, yes, it's taken away from the time you could be working. But if you're networking with the people that you're actually doing the community work with, and then they are buying you and they find out about you and they're telling their friends about your product and service, and they buy from you as opposed to, I don't know, some satanic company, some demon, then that sure is a lot of encouragement to be more active and spend more time with those people. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring that together, trying to just change the mindset, the ideology that you can do all of these great things out in the community, but it's still a way that you're around like-minded people, and, let's peddle our wares together. Let's start, referring each other business. That is the key to it all. That is what makes America great, right? So we're doing that here on the platform, on the Everything Home platform. Go to everythinghomeaboutus.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com. Check out all the information, all the resources. It is amazing. You'll never have to Google again to find somebody, the quality content, hundreds of thousands of dollars of free quality content. All Patriots peeps that are there, they must follow and join groups, the Patriotic media, the live events, the virtual events. We're putting together a specific business page in there for small business resources, for like-minded small business people to work together, collaboration. It's fully loaded, guys. Start using it. Start checking it out. Come join us. So you can follow us on social media. Trying to post when I can. Hopefully that'll be getting a lot better. If you go to everythinghomeaboutus.com, you can also, the links for all the social medias there, and also the links for all the podcast players. We're on 25 of the different platforms, because after the show is live, it transfers automatically into a podcast, so you can catch it on demand. And also the social media links I sent are on there. Oh, do the Rumble. So don't follow on YouTube. It's not worth it, because we could get kicked off of that and get a strike and blah, 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 and I don't even bother posting. So follow us on the Rumble, and that's where we're posting the shows after they are done. We're also live on the Rumble. We're live on Blog Talk Radio, live on Clout Hub, live on Twitter, live on LinkedIn. And hopefully we can be live in some other places once I find out other resources to be live on. So, make sure you set your notifications so that you can always tune in Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 12 p.m. Pacific time for tips and takeaways to grow your business, enhance the quality of your life, and make a difference, especially in your communities. And, the newsletter. Join the newsletter. It makes it so much easier. That way you can get the information direct to your inbox. I don't bombard you with a lot of junk. I don't send the newsletter out as much as I can, because it's a lot of work. So I'm doing what I can. But that you can just kind of hang out here in this virtual family room on Mondays and Fridays, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Even if you come in and out for a little bit, you catch the live version. But, we're here. We're not going anywhere. We're just trying to grow. And get out there and bring all these peeps together. That's part of our Save My Freedom movement, SaveMyFreedom.us, SaveMyFreedom.us. We are bringing together groups, organizations, businesses, influencers, and individuals who are ready to stand up and take some action, people, because it's all about take action. You're going to check out the Take Action tab on our website. So these are all we have subgroups as part of this Save My Freedom movement. So that way you can have all the topics and resources, so you can support, hire, and join fellow freedom fighters get to know one another. You'll be able to post your stuff in there too. So that way you can get some biz, make some connections, and collaborate. So we're like in one location to find each other. That's what we're trying to do. This whole platform, this whole movement, it's about bringing the people together, the like-minded peeps. So it is 12:31. I said I was going to go past 2:30. So I apologize. So it's time to renew our faith, restore our republic, rebuild our economy. Ooh, jeez. It's time to get rid of the people that are in the elected elite offices. We haven't even begun to talk about the stuff here locally. Well, we did a little bit earlier today, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy. What's time? We got to get our acts together here in Arizona because we got to push back. Remember we heard last week that NAU and U of A, and NAU, and U of A, ASU, there's the three. They were requiring faculty or whatever to get the non-vax. Oh, come on. Where's Doug Ducey? Where is our Congress people? Where is our state? Where is our senators? And why aren't they in a special session to go ahead and not only fix the election issues, decertify, and then also to then put in laws you cannot mandate, which the law already says you can't mandate something that is approved through the EUA. So that's what their own laws are. Apparently nobody's following that. And that should be for the mask, the PCR test, which they're all fraudulent anyway. And then you've got the non-vaccine. So all of those are actually against the law to make people do that. But yet nobody's doing anything here in Arizona. And then of course, pick a letter, CRT, SEL, whatever. Just literally, guys, stick with math, reading, science. None of this other crap. But yeah, see, our elected elite, they're not doing enough. They're not doing enough. So courage, conviction, and common sense are contagious. Put on that common sense cap, wear it all day, sleep in it. Listen to episode 263, Lee Merritt. Episode 260, Dr. Brian Artis. Share that with your family. Share that with your friends. Share our show. Share our platform with your family, friends, and contacts. Literally, at this point in the game, it's good. It'll save their lives, not to mention we want to help grow their businesses, too. We want them to be part of the community. We've got to bring in like-minded peeps. The more, the merrier. The more, the merrier. Special thank you to all of our partners with Everything Home, Socially Conscious, Referral Network, and Marketplace. Their information, their episodes, and their websites, and their own shows. Everything is listed on our website, everythinghomeaboutus.com. This segment, these live shows are called the Purpose-Driven Partners. So you'll see that link, you'll see that page, Purpose-Driven Partners, and then you're going to scroll. You can listen directly on there, or you could just use it as a reference to figure out what the topic you want to listen to, a little bit, learn more about the particular partners, and click on the blue link that goes to their website. You'll see what I mean when you go on there. So tune in on a Wednesday, and I think what we're going to do the Nepote segment from last week. We're going to put that there as a special segment of the show. I might do 2 back-to-backs. I'm not sure. We will figure that out. And then we'll be back Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Another big show, a really big show. Really big show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I did not mean to talk this long. So it is it's time to go. I think you're awake. If you're still listening, thank you. Thank you, everyone who listens live. Thank you for everybody who listens on demand. Please share the show and platform. Let's get the word out. If you've got a show, then come on this one, and we will spread the news, and we'll get more people to know about everybody. We're going to stick together. That's the only way this is going to work, peeps. It's going to get real ugly, fugly. Coming up here real soon. These deadlines for these mandates are coming up, and people are unexpectedly dying. Like one of the past attorney generals, I just saw that the other day here in Arizona. I can't think of his name. Horn? No, not Horn. I saw him over the weekend. No, one of the names you'd recognize. And then, so there's people that are just, something about Celine Dion. No, she's not dead. I saw something about her. But yeah, it's because the non-vaccine's catching in. Remember, it destroys your immune system. That's only one thing it does. There's so many more problems with it. So, tune into these episodes. I'm telling you. And then, if you want to go listen to them on other shows too, do my guess. But these are the people that you need to pay attention to, the messages that matter from the people you need to know about. Get the facts. You're not going to get it on the news. You're not going to get it on the TV. You're not going to get it from social media. Because that's why we are where we are. People, listen to that. You can't listen to this. You got to stand up to the tyranny, right? You got to stand up to the tyranny. What was one of the good sayings that somebody said? Oh, I take my marching orders from God, not government. I liked that one. And then, the one that I'm going to start using here is I want you to become a super spreader of courage, freedom, and common sense. That is right. Don't be one of those trans Republicans. That means they're worse than a rhino. That means they're just identifying today as a Republican. It just means that they're not even close. So that's the new one. But yes, become a super spreader of courage, freedom, and common sense. Tyranny needs our participation, people. So do not comply. You need to live free. Everything they're telling you is lies. Lies, 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 lies. They have no desire to make this country great. They want to drive it into the ground. They want to divide and conquer and destroy America. And that's what they're doing. So there you go. There you have it. EverythingHomeAboutUs.com. Go make it a great day because you deserve it. Wow, 2:37. I gotta get this thing under control. Thanks for listening.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
You've been listening to Everything Home with Michele Swinick. Life, laughter, and the pursuit of happiness. To meet, learn from, and hire the experts and the guests, professionals, and members of the Everything Home Socially Conscious Referral Network and Marketplace, visit everythinghometalkshow.com/episodes. And to listen, subscribe, rate, review, like, follow, comment, and share, go to www.everythinghometalkshow.com and find us on all the major listening platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you were entertained, and we hope that you picked up some real-life, tangible takeaways from some good people doing good business and good things. Till next time, this is Everything Home, signing off.